Welcome in, everybody! How are you guys doing? Woo, nice and chill with the unleashed lo-fi. Let's go. I'll take it. Oh, goodness. Hello, everyone. Welcome into another evening for Festival of Ages 25, and we are here with my good friend, Roxim.
Hi, everybody!
He's very excited. He's been pretty hype about getting up on stage. The security could not hold him back. He was so supercharged. He was ready to go.
You should have seen the foam coming out of my mouth, you know.
It's true. It was rabid. I was scared. I was calling first aid, and they were like, we don't know what's wrong with him. He just wants to be up there. So hyper. Bringing reinforcements. Yes. But hello, everyone. How are you guys doing? I hope you're having a lovely Monday. I know it's fairly rare for FOA to have a Monday guest panel. We've been having a few of those lately, some Tuesdays and Monday panels. But you know what? Any day is a good day. Hey, GC, welcome in. Hi, Jacob. Hi, Astro Sniper. Foxy, what's up? Hello. Hey, Brief Love. How are you doing? Hi, Z. Hi, Moe. Good, not feeling the best, but good. I apologize. I hope that the rest of the day is better for you. We're gonna have some good fun today, I promise. We're gonna have a really, really good time. But yes, it is the start of the week, so I understand everybody has a bit of some blah still attached to them. I understand the sluggishness is very much alive and well in my veins. But that's fine. That's fine. We're here now. We're here chilling out. It's gonna be a good time. How about you, Rox? How you feeling today?
I'm feeling pretty good overall. Even at the beginning of the week, I've got I'm busy, and that's all I can ask for.
It's good to stay busy instead of having nothing to do. So I guess that's true.
Yeah.
And you've been pretty busy lately as well. This summer has been kind of hectic for so many people I know. It feels like nobody around me has been able to, slow down since the summer has started. Which could be good and bad. So. Yeah,
I would definitely say it's been a hectic summer all around for probably anybody that I know. So.
Yeah, I know, especially. But, other than that, though.
Have that fun.
Yeah, so am I, honestly. Nap time sounds really nice, but yeah. Glitch, I lost my seat to Gold Ship. Also, how are you? Take it back! Take it back with all of your force, all of your might. You can't just let them take things from you. That's not how that goes. But yes, so we're gonna be chit-chatting a lot today. We're gonna be talking to Roxim. Ow! Great, somebody threw a doom eye at me. Hold on, excuse me. It's rude. Hi, Spade. We're gonna be talking to Roxim about writers, but not just about writers. We're gonna be asking some questions about development on Sonic Riders' future. Which, correct me if I'm wrong. Are you? Would you be considered head developer or?
So not exactly a head developer. I probably would say just more of a community leader with that also dabbles in testing and QA, I guess.
That's honestly fair. But they'll be going through a lot of stuff with us, answering what questions they can. A lot of stuff still is very hush, hush, hush. So they're kind of coming through as a representative for this lovely mod coming up. But aside from that, Roxim, if you would like to introduce yourself and what you do and the stuff you like, you have the floor.
Alrighty, well, thank you very much. As I said, my name is Roxim. I guess to say, I guess more than you already know, community leader for the Future mod, the Writers Underground Discord server. A lot of the stuff I do is I love to do video creation as well as gaming. So a lot of times, I will do tutorials for writers in general. A lot of my stuff right now is very writer-centric because a lot of it, you need somewhere to start. And that's kind of my big thing. I love giving people a place to start for writers in general. As well, I am also, of course, working on some not so Sonic Riders Central stuff, but that's all other things that are still in development on that end.
Understandable. Sounds exciting though. It must be really fun to like be part of a community that like works on various different things that everybody enjoys so much.
Yeah, no, it's probably one of the most fun things. Like, honestly, I owe a lot to the writers community. Like, it was the first place I could call like a home in a as a person, I guess. Which sounds really sad, but I promise you, it's really not as bad as I make it sound. But yeah, no, it was one of the very first communities for Discord that I joined. And then just in general, like, I guess technically esports wise, because we do a lot of esports related stuff with writers. So, you know, it was one of the things I dreamt of most and being a part of.
No, absolutely. And that's got to be so much fun, because just for the little bit that I have been doing it, for the small amount of time running tournaments, I can tell you without a doubt, writers has changed so much of what I do, especially in terms of running tournaments. Goodness gracious. I don't think I'll ever be able to run tournaments the same way again, or at least I can't. They're too fun when they're writers tournament. They're super intense. Everybody is so fun. Like, everybody that comes to compete are such good sports. There's a lot of really good sportsmanship that goes on within the Bit of the Writers community that I have been introduced to since, I want to say, about 2 to 3 years ago. And I don't know, I keep meeting really cool people like you from the writers community, and I'm just like, are all of them just like superb in every way? Why are they talking to me? I'm not worthy of talking to people that are so cool.
Thank you.
I mean it. It's like, I don't know. It's really fun. It's fun. I'm really glad that my friends on staff were like, hey, we should totally try writers. And I'm like, I do love writers. Does anybody like play it like a lot? And they're like, well, there is a community of people that play it, you know. Maybe we could try and like throw something and everybody could have fun doing that. Get more people. Oh man. Changed my life.
Yeah.
Changed my life for the best.
Yeah. Yeah, no, the writers community definitely changed my life for the better, I'd say, as well. I don't think I'd be anywhere better in life than if I were without them.
It's a fun game. And I don't know, it's fun to find sense of community with something that you really enjoy, you know? It makes it a lot easier to want to like create stuff for said community, you know what I mean? And it's because you have so much fun with it, you enjoy it, you want to invest in it. And that's like, I don't know, it's the best feeling ever when you know that your endeavors and stuff that you do or stuff that you help with helps other people, you know, make really cool things. I don't know, you feel like you feel like you stepped on that journey along with everybody else to get to that certain point. And that is just a really awesome, like, it's an awesome feeling within a gaming community, but I feel like within the Sonic community in general, because we are combined divided force sometimes.
Ain't that the truth?
So sometimes we want to be friends enemies with everyone, and it's hard. But yeah, no, aside from that though, have you been playing any interesting games lately, not attuned to writers?
Yeah, so I've been getting back recently into 2 different series. One of them is Devil May Cry.
Oh, nice choice.
I played 4 like many years ago, and then it wasn't until this year I finally got into the original trilogy. because the Humble Bundle, I thank the Lord for those guys. And then I also been getting into another like Sega owned, I believe, property, which is they released on Sega consoles beforehand, but it was the Atelier series.
Ooh.
Yeah, so little niche RPG series, but for those who love it, it has definitely become one of my favorites. And I've been playing through the original games, and then trying to get back into the modern ones. So
that
those are
like
my two. Yeah, no, they have very interesting crafting systems. Battle systems are they're all over the place now, depending on which era of Atelier you get. Most of them are your standard turn-based RPGs, but they have very specific mechanics that enhance the battle systems that normal RPGs have for turn-based stuff. And I could honestly just rant about that for a good while.
I wish I got more into JRPGs. It's not that I don't like them, because I've played like a little bit of them. It's just the fact that it's a really big time investment that I'm not sure I would have, like, aside from like, it's not that I'm like always busy. That's not true. But like, when you play JRPGs, you better have a day like set to at least invest in playing this to get some progress done, And I don't know if I have that.
Well, if you ever want a short RPG, like JRPG, I would definitely go ahead and recommend the first Atelier game, Atelier Marie. I cleared that without like knowing anything in about 8 hours. So, because it's not like super story heavy, you get a very basic premise, and then you're just set out, and then you don't get too much unless you really explore the game.
Ooh, that sounds like it's doable.
Yeah, no, it's very doable, and like I said, it's one of the shorter games. You can also hilariously just there's a sleep mechanic that you can do where you can just rest the entire game and get the bad ending. It's really funny.
Just a nice quick adventure that may or may not end up in turmoil.
Yeah, pretty much.
JRPGs in a nutshell.
Yeah.
Almost every JRPG is like that. Would you like to play this very quick game? 20 hours pass. Oh, awesome. I made it through. What do I get? The bad ending! What? Why? I thought I was doing good. They're like, we did too. We have no idea what you did wrong.
Yeah.
Devil May Cry is a really good title, though. I remember playing it a really long time ago. It's been a while. I think the last one I played was DMC4. I just never played the newer titles. Have you played any of the newest ones?
I haven't played 5 yet. Like I said, I played 4 like back when I had an Xbox 360 so many years ago. I've been playing the original trilogy. So I finished all of the first game, including all of the difficulty modes. So I really sat there and learned how to play Devil May Cry in its entirety. I played through normal on the second game. I'm thinking I might go ahead and just 100% it. And then I'm currently playing through the story of 3, so I can have fun with that one. And then, of course, just platinum both of those.
Oh my gosh. Completionist over here.
Well, normally I'm not, but like those are, like, I just love the combat system so much that I actually really do want to give it a shot.
That's fair. It's really flashy, but it's really fun. Every impact's nice and punchy. You know what I mean?
Yes, yes.
Does Pokemon count as a JRPG?
I would believe so.
I would like to say yes. I feel like anybody who's played Pokemon, you've played a light RPG. Because, I mean, technically, The only items you really use are like healing kind of, and you don't craft a ton of stuff unless you're playing like Arceus, but you're kind of, well, you know what? It kind of does have the framework, don't it? You got the crafting, you got the items, you've got, you know, Pokemon in your party with different attacks and stats and, you know, abilities and stuff like that, and, you know, going up against monsters, and you visit towns, and there's bosses, which are technically the gym leaders, and there's some weird dramatic plot. It used to be so simple. Used to be, I'm gonna go beat all the gym leaders and then beat the Elite Four, and there might be a crime syndicate in the background, maybe, but that's like not my concern. Now it's like people trying to end the world and trying to bring back Armageddon, or like open a portal to another dimension, and they suffer from the toxic like poison that emits from the dimension, or I don't know, poverty, famine, plague, random things.
It's a lot of thrust on a 10-year-old.
It is! Like, huh? I'm 10. I don't even know most of my math equations or how to read on a college level. Why are you demanding me to save the world every time? What would a 10-year-old know how to do that? Like, I just... Population bomb is a hell of an opioid used with extreme abandon. I'm just saying, every, like all the bosses you run into, when it's like blue and red and yellow, you're just going up against, like, you know, gym leaders. Those are your bosses. Those are your dungeon bosses, so to speak, right? And then you do the Elite Four, which is like the end road. And then, you know, you become the, like, greatest there ever was, pretty much. And then it's kind of same thing with Silver and Gold and Crystal. There's kind of some stuff going around, but they more just kind of hint to it, you know, with some lore and folk tales and stuff like that. Then you get into, like, Emerald and Sapphire and Ruby, and there's, like, you know, there's another crime syndicate running around, and they're a lot more aggressive, and, you know, they're not only, like, stealing Pokemon, but they're, like, killing people and stuff, and you're like, wow, this escalated to 100, and then Diamond and Pearl and Platinum is pretty much warp between dimensions. There's a demon, Satan, coming from hell, from the backwards alternate universe, and there's people trying to get him or capture him, and then there's also a being of time and space and God. You're meeting him very early. And you know, another crime syndicate, and they're pretty bad. Like, really bad. Like, you had 2 crime syndicates trying to flood the world or cover the world in lava. So there's that. And then you have these guys trying to, like, rip time and space apart. And literally, the next one, what? Black and White was what? You had N, right? N and Gatus? Gatus?
Yeah, gets us.
Getsus, and he pretty much was like, I am PETA, if it was bent on killing all of humankind. Like, literally very aggressive PETA, where Pokemon are in the right and we are in the wrong, and they want to wipe entire humanity out so that they could build a new utopia, and they brainwash this child to also believe that they are doing the right thing. We also protest everywhere aggressively. And we're kind of a cult, just a little bit. And then what? X and Y was, oh man, I'm trying to remember what X and Y's dealio was. I think there was like a weapon underground that was gonna wipe out all of the world, like a laser or something.
I stopped playing after Black and White.
It gets ridiculous, Roxam. The X and Y was like, hey, there's a giant flower in the middle of this city. Haha, joke's on you. It's actually a giant laser, and it's going to kill the entire world because of you, 10-year-old, who accidentally activated it. Because you went downstairs into a lab you weren't supposed to be in, and you rescued 2 children that were held there kind of against their will. One being experimented on, and we won't even talk about Mom of the Year over here, who happens to be a lead scientist who abandoned everyone, including her husband, and went into some other dimension with a bunch of... We want to call them Pokemon because we don't know what else to call them, but they're called beasts. And she got sick super sick because she decided to conjoin with them. Who would think that's a good idea? Like, who said, yeah, look at that weird octopus thing. I'm gonna go touch it and become one. No! Don't do that. You have kids at home. You have a business at home. You have a home. What are you doing? Why are you doing this? And she got like so sick, like pretty much the venom from being joined with it was like poisoning her from the inside out. Which obviously is a freaking octopus creature. What did you think was gonna happen when you put it on your head like a head crab? You didn't think any consequences were gonna happen? I don't understand. I don't know why we saved her. There's no reason to. And then you get into freaking Sword and Shield.
Yeah, Foxy, we're talking about losing me.
Yeah! Then you get into Sword and Shield, and you're just like, woohoo, everything is like soccer, that's neat. Or football, my bad. And then, like, the guy is just like, hi, I'm like the Chancellor guy that runs all the stuff. I also look very suavemente, which means that I am totally the villain, and you aren't going to suspect me till the very end, even though the whole time you know I am a villain. And then he's just like, yup, I'm ready to summon Armageddon once again. Awaken 2 funny doggos. They're not going to do anything, though, and I'm going to kill the world again. I'm going to summon the end of all technology and, as we know it, so that we can revert back to the golden times. And you're just like, you mean the caveman times? What exactly is the goldman times to you? What are the gold times? Before we had electricity? What is considered golden era for you? You're turning back the clock to what? When everybody was afraid of freaking sunlight, stayed in caves? What is good about this? What are you trying to do here? And then you get into the newest one, which is Scarlet and Violet. It's all about the past. You know, the past and the future coming together, sort of. And you got Area Zero, which might as well just be Made in Abyss, the anime, inserted into Pokemon. It's a giant hole in the ground that nobody authorized, at least, has put anything above it. Because you could just BLJ up the side of the mountain with your Pokemon, which is also your motorcycle, which is dumb, and you could just land inside of that crater. Nobody will stop you. It's a horrible descent all the way down, but like, you could jump into that crater. If somebody climbed, they can climb in and there's like no security. There's just some lab. And you're supposed to be at a school. You're a kid, Roxum! You're a kid at a school! And they're like, we're gonna teach you Pokemon stuff. We're gonna quiz you, there's gonna be classes. However, your biggest project is to go out in the world, you young fleshy thing, very squishy. If a Pokemon tackled you, you would die. You're gonna go out there, you're gonna fight a bunch of Pokemon, some even bigger than you and me and this school building. They are called Titan Pokemon. Do not be afraid. They simply just don't want you to go into their pantry and take their seasoning for their sandwiches. They're very picky about that. Don't do it. And then just like beat them up, take their stuff so that you can feed it to a dog and hope that the dog heals up. So that this one guy who was abandoned by his mom won't have abandonment issues anymore. You know that's not gonna go away. Then you fight this power-hungry lady who wants to challenge you all the time but keeps saving it. Like it's some sort of kink that she has. She just doesn't want to fight you right now. She just wants you to beg for it. And you're like, I don't like that you're doing this. Just fight me already. And then when she does, it's like nothing. Like she doesn't even really try, and you're just like, huh?
Like that old TFS joke from the Dragon Shorts. Fight me!
Yes! No! Fight me! Like, and then you finally fight, and nothing happens. And she's just like, wow, I knew you were strong. I'm like, chick, you fought me with 2 baby Pokemon. What did you expect? Either you horribly underestimate me, and how dare you, or you're not taking this seriously, and also how dare you. I don't like that you follow me, and I don't like that you challenge me to stupid arbitrary battles that mean nothing until the very end. Then you beat the Elite Four and it's not even over. You gotta go into Area Zero because, yep, 10-year-old access, why not? And then you go down there and you fight all these creatures that are not in Pokédexes, obviously. They are from the past and the future, and they are ready to kill you because they have not, they haven't learned the whole living with people thing yet. You know? That's modern. Past Pokemon don't look at you and go, oh, harmony. No, they look at you and go, get the hell off my block. I'm going to kill you now. And then the future ones are like, we've taken over the world and you literally work for us. Get back to work. Like, none of them are on your side. It's on site. On site when they see you. On site. And then, you just... What is this? Why is this? And then you fight a virus, and you're like, huh? And then that's it. They're just like, all right, we're all here in a Pokemon world. And that's Pokemon. It's like, what happened to just going out there and catching Pokemon and being the best? Why am I fighting warlords and, Armageddon bringing cults and, like, old men with too much money that can, like, summon the colony space ark in the Earth? Like, I don't get it. Why? Where did it come to be this way?
That's why Sonic's so appreciated. We don't have to deal with a bunch of cults. We just have to deal with one guy who's just insanely really good at building robots and somehow like get like finishing world dominating plans in like, you know, a week before he's on his next issue.
Well, I mean, Sonic's kind of guilty of it, too. I mean, think about it. Yeah, he fights Eggman, right? Eggman, big scientist guy that, you know, has an entire fleet at his disposal and an amusement park several times, and giant fortresses all over the place that, for some reason, are just legal for him to have. I don't know who he's paying off, but yeah. However, he also has the ability to just summon demons and gods. Exactly. Demons and gods of eldritch horrors, like, just... let's talk about the fact that he was trying to, like, harness Solaris when the people that summoned him couldn't even do that. And he brought around the Time Eater, right? And let's talk about freaking, what is it? Was it, not Iblis? It's another... It
was the Dark Gaia.
Yeah, there's Dark Gaia. And he exploded the moon and the Earth, technically, with a laser. He broke it apart. Let's see, he tried to enslave humanity, and at one point he did in the comics. His ancestors roboticized people, and he traps animals in robots to use them as fuel until they no longer have energy. He has stolen multiple things. He's pretty much in all of the city's infrastructure. He runs their metro system. At any point, he could have a subway system go off the rails and take out millions. And no one would bat an eye. They would just be like, oh, it was a train accident. No, it was Eggman who was pissed off at the latest, like, Fortnite update and just hit a button and a subway station went kaboom. He has too much power. He literally, like, can summon all creatures and pair up with all of these like random villains of deep psychological issues. He also has a habit of like creating robots that have consciousness. Are we not going to talk about the fact that he brings some of these things to life? They have full awareness, full consciousness. Like, nobody going to talk to him about how the hell he knows how to do that. The fact that he can and does play God multiple times and gets away with it. He gets away with it. He will never die. He will never face any lethal consequences for the tons that he has caused to perish. I'm just saying. Do we have to go over the freaking, like, Zombot virus? And how many that took? Like, he got away with it! He's not even behind bars. He's just out and about, roaming. He said, yeah, I brought a freaking zombie Armageddon onto, like, the world. So what? Just a random Tuesday for me.
Oh, man, Archie Eggman? Now that's its own can of worms. Good Lord.
That's a villain. He's legit, exactly, a war criminal. For sure. Ain't nothing right about that guy. No ounce of mercy in that guy whatsoever. But he's got to be probably one of my favorite iterations of Eggman, though. Because he's like...
Oh, yeah, for sure.
He's wild. There's nothing redeemable about him whatsoever. So you can't help but hate him, but also love him at the same time. Because you're like, this man really living his best life. He woke up today and said, I'm going to start a war with the next city over, and I'm going to win. And he does, before lunchtime. How does this man do it?
Yeah, no, bro literally wakes up and chooses violence every day.
Mm-hmm. I think the only lethal consequence was 06.
Yeah, that was because it was very, very close to happening.
Yeah. And even when we did get the whole, like, ship blowing up and stuff, he didn't die. He was in the end of world with everybody else, so he escaped that too. Archie Eggman is the King Von of the Sonic series.
Yeah, he is.
Actually accurate.
Unironically accurate. Oh my
Goodness.
god.
Dude straight up won in his original world and then came to the Archie Sonics universe just because he was bored. He was on a whole nother level. He was on a different playing field than everybody else.
Yeah, no, he really was.
He was.
Talk about insane.
It's a huge night and day difference between the Eggman we have now.
Yeah, no, really. Oh, but yeah, Sonic and stuff writers and all that.
Right, yeah, Sonic writers.
I got so absorbed, I was like, oh yeah.
Disparaging the Pokemon, the Pokemon conversation in terms of JRPG. Actually, I bring up a good point to you, actually, Roxanne. What is your take on, like, another, like, RPG for Sonic? Because, you know, we had Dark Brotherhood and stuff like that. Do you think Sonic would benefit from an RPG title?
I think he could, but I think he would have to stay in an action-oriented RPG, much like Frontiers. I think if we added, I think you would need to add something. Honestly, you could add like mechanics from going back to Devil May Cry for a second. Like you could add in certain mechanics like the style meter and stuff like that into the Sonic Frontiers combat system in a way if it were improved a little more. And I think you would do very well in that aspect.
I think the tools are there. Like, we have enough characters. We've got the world. We've got the items that could be used, right? The abilities. The Mario and Luigi crossover. I just think that they could do a really cool... A Persona-style RPG would be pretty insane. But it could be doable. They do have Atlas in their back pocket. Very true. But they absolutely could do like an RPG, a very epic RPG with Sonic. I mean, they obviously are toying around with more somber stuff too. Like, it doesn't have to be a somber RPG, but most RPGs kind of are, and a bit. But they did with Frontiers. So,
yeah,
like,
what they did with Frontiers was very good, and honestly, it was if anything, that was the one game that finally made me like Roger Craig Smith as Sonic. Like, but in any previous iteration, I just couldn't stand him. But with Frontiers, I was like, you know what? I can accept him as Sonic now. Like, that is a very good voice direction for him.
I think he did really well in Frontiers, actually. I genuinely like the very tired Sonic. It's kind of my favorite iteration so far. But he also did good with Boom, too.
Yeah, Boom wasn't too bad. I think I would say like the cartoon was interesting enough that like I didn't mind him so much there, but it was Frontiers that made me actually love him as a Sonic actor.
I feel like there's a ton of different genres that Sonic hasn't like touched on yet, but the RPG one, they did do it once, and it's not that it didn't work, it's just that the execution was a little rough.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. It was very rough in execution. And it also didn't help that a certain writer decided to do Sega so that they couldn't fix up that, issue.
Yeah. They were like, let me just put a wrench in that for you. And they're like, great, we can never touch upon this again. We're just gonna not talk about it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. One of the hypothetical games I think would be cool is an Amy character action game. Think Hi-Fi Rush or Bayonetta. Go full magical girl hack and slash for Amy. I mean, they pretty much kind of are leaning with that with the whole tarot cards thing. And having her ride her hammer like a witch's broom. So I get that. I don't know if they'll give her like a solo thing, though. There's like some characters I feel like they're not gonna do solo things for, which would be unfortunate. At least give them like little mini stuff. Tails had one. Why couldn't everybody else get one? Little mini game here and there. The thing with Sonic is that it has so many different characters. Yeah.
We'll get there soon.
Yes. Thing with Sonic is that it has so many different characters that could possibly deal with a variety of different game genres than just the normal Sonic style. Very true. We touched upon this a couple of times, but Knuckles having like a treasure hunting thing or like an explorative thing on Angel Island would be very cool. Rouge could be a stealth type game. That could work. Amy has hammers attached to her boots. That, I don't like that. That doesn't sound great. That sounds clunky. But honestly, fair ideas all around. But yes, without further ado, Roxam, you ready to talk about some Rider stuff?
Yes, I am.
All right, let's go ahead and we'll change the screens over. I'm gonna put this on loop and change this over here. Alrighty, so I've got a few questions for you, Roxam, having to do with Ryder's future. But first, some explanatory things, some intro stuff, you know. Honestly, I feel impressed how this festival is going. I appreciate that, Pegasus. So, first question, if you don't mind me asking, because it's very beginner question-wise. So, how exactly did you end up, like, entering into, like, the Riders community?
So, how it went was, I was playing Riders one day, and I was like, I was watching a lot of, I was watching a lot of, like, esports stuff, like fighting games, Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, a lot of those kinds of tournaments. And I was like, I'd really like an esport that like fits what I'm already, decent at. So I looked up one and of course, I'm playing Riders. I'm like, maybe there's one for Riders because, why not? So I look it up and I see there were two. There was Tournament Edition and then there was DX. So, of course, I looked into it, much like anybody who looks into the mods does. And I decided to go with DX because I didn't want, like, a bunch of different mechanics to my game. I like a generally vanilla experience with just quality of life. So I joined into the, at the time, EXGL server. And that was kind of how I guess I got into the community. It took me a little bit of time to kind of like actually talk in it, because I have social anxiety really bad at points. So from there, like I think I had gotten to talk with one of the pros. They kicked my butt in a net play game, and from there I was determined to just keep playing and get better at the game. I was like, I was shown a whole new world by getting my butt kicked in the game.
That sounds like me with Cart.
Yeah. So yeah, seeing the skill and the speed runs for just the mods, it was so impressive that I wanted to be a part of that and get better. And I remember when I first learned the most major basic mechanic of the boost chain, I went from like a 2 minutes in Metal City to like a 150 immediately just by learning that boost chain. Like, it was insane to me, getting a 10-second difference.
Goodness.
And it just, yes, it just impressed me so much. I was like, this will be amazing to get into.
That's awesome. It pretty much is just like the love of what the community was already doing pretty much is like what caused you to want to walk in and be like, yeah, no, I wanna take a seat in this. This sounds awesome. Which I totally agree with. That's fun. So when you first got into the community and stuff, did you start like joining in on like the tournaments like really heavily, or were you more like invested on like the mod itself, like what was going into it, the development of it?
So starting out, I did join like after kind of learning a lot more of the basics and getting a hang of the net play differences. I decided to start joining tournaments. I lost I got knocked out like round 2 of every tournament I joined, because most of them were open invitations at that time.
Mm-hmm.
So then I started going into the beginner brackets. They used to be held. And from there, that's where I kind of started doing just a little bit better. I still got knocked out like 2-3 rounds, so it wasn't much better, but like I kind of started understanding how things went at that point. And then as I was researching all of the different stuff, from the techniques to like the game data and all the descriptions of how the gears work, I noticed that there wasn't anything much for actual beginners to like sink their teeth into, if you didn't want to just do all that research, It was still very much a game for the pros. So that's where I started getting into making the beginner content for people. I think I did a live stream at that point with my old VTuber model back when I still did that. And I went through all the stages and like how you can, like what your skips you wanted to do, all that fun stuff, right before the next beginner tourney that took place. And that's how I began on the beginner content as well, and like getting people better suited into the game.
All right, the fledgling writers.
Yeah, the fledgling seminars, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Which are honestly extremely helpful, due to the fact that, like you, I also realized when I was starting up Galaxy Gearheads, I realized there was not a lot of beginner-friendly content into getting you into, like, writers in general. Like, there wasn't stuff that was really explaining out, besides like basic stuff, the more advanced things that you kind of needed to like race against other people. And not a lot of stuff that went very in depth at all, or explained certain things about certain tracks or characters or even gears. And I realized like how severely lacking it was for anybody coming into the community to be like, how do I even get started in any of this? So for one, I think it's genuinely admirable that you decided to like move ahead to do that and provide that for people, because it is a very important like resource for like people that want to get into the game proper,
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that. And like I still like I'm very on and off with the tutorials at the moment, just because life stuff always was happening. I do want to like get back into it at some point and really hunker down and just finish all that up, and really provide a better way for newcomers into the series to enjoy a game that I just absolutely love and have been spending the better part of 4 years almost playing.
Goodness.
Yeah, no, I put a lot of hours. Like, goodness, when I was a beginner, just starting out, I kid you not when I say I treated writers like a full-time job. I was putting in 8-hour days, sometimes like 12 hours. I would be playing during work when I got to work from home during all the, crazy plague stuff going on,
Right.
I put so many hours into it every week that it became life for a good while. And then finally, after some years, I started toning that down to just like make a better balance in life, because if I had kept that up, it just would have been so unhealthy.
I understand. It takes a lot of practice just to kind of to get the hang of just the basics, but man, when you start getting into the advanced stuff, that is exactly like you said, that is a full-time job. That's a full-time hobby to get good enough where you kind of remember inputs and what you're supposed to do, how things are supposed to feel, and track knowledge and stuff is also a big thing. Coming from somebody who is in the beginners rank and stuff like that, it is difficult to keep track of everything when you don't have all of the time to put into it.
Yeah, no, I mean, even at the higher levels, the highest levels even, you still have to put in so much work. Our top 3 players right now, Ice, Salaga, and Hope, all which are balanced team members because of how much they play the game. So they, they've put in so many hours. It's hard to keep up with that kind of thing. Like I said, I've been playing this for 4+ years, and I could only consider myself at best in the top 10. That's how serious a lot of the higher level stuff gets.
Absolutely. There's quite the gap.
I've only held one world record in a couple of times, and then it probably had been, I think the longest I held a record in just writers in general was a month. And
really?
Every time I would get a record, it was beat probably the next day. I mean, it gets really crazy when you practice as much as you do. But yeah.
So when you got the record, was it for a stage? Was it for doing the story mode?
It would be for individual stages. So I did. There was Sega Carnival. I held it for 2 days. Egg Factory, I held it for 1 day. And that was when that was when DX 2.0 released. Not too I would have the record for a little bit, and then it was gone the next day. Now I can get close to world record times, but I still have yet to get a solid world record under my belt for a good while.
Oh goodness. Also, Tails the Prower 71, thanks so much for the raid. Welcome in. Thank you so much for coming through. Appreciate you. I couldn't hope to possibly get a record at all. I don't think that would work. I'm too slow to figure stuff out.
It just takes time, and you just, sometimes you just got to put in that little bit of work. And of course, everybody in the Writers Underground community, for which we do the mod at, we're always willing to help newcomers in improving their skills, and we're always willing to give helpful advice to every run. Anything. It's just something that we do because we want to have more competitive racers than what we've had before. No,
that's honestly fair. Do you feel like the community has been growing steadily since the I guess the mod has been the modding community in general, I guess, has been having a lot more tournaments. I've been seeing them a lot more. And you guys have little events here and there, which is really fun. Do you feel like the more that they've been doing that, the bigger the community has been getting because of that?
So I think since a lot of craziness has died down from earlier stuff, to say the least. I would say the community has been steadily growing back more to what it used to be, and
while we've been pretty silent in terms of events for a little while, we do have plans to like really get ourselves back into it and provide that experience we once had.
Gotcha. And so pretty much people have been really flocking to this because I don't think there's anybody that I talk to now that's really into Riders that doesn't mention like Riders Underground and then just the different mods that are out there and just the excitement that's building around it in general. I mean, I came into it a bit late, even though I had known about Riders for a long time, had played Riders, at least OG. For a bit, would say I was amazing at it because OG also had a bad habit of not really teaching anybody how to play the game.
Yeah, you had to search through the manual and then maybe watch a tutorial in the options menu.
Yeah,
I don't know why they put it in the options menu. That's a really weird place to put your tutorial. Like they really could have just had tutorial at the very bottom. Like
longest time I didn't know that existed. Time I didn't know that existed. And it's extras, not options. Just the fact that it's in this random little sub menu though is awful. Awful. Cause nobody's gonna know it's in there and you want people to play the game. I just feel like they could have done a tutorial stage and walk you through all of that, it would have been a lot better. And I feel like that would have been an easy thing to implement. I still, for the life of me, don't understand why that wasn't done.
Yeah, no, it was definitely a baffling design on Sega's
a little
part.
bit, yeah. Akin to the stuff going on with Riders and everything like that. Tell me a little bit about Sonic Riders Future.
Okay, so currently what we're doing is we're kind of taking the biggest scope that we used to have. We're kind of dialing it back just a little bit for this first patch. We're just bringing out 3 characters. 2 of which are Blaze and Vector. Unfortunately, I can't speak on the third just yet because we don't have their reveal trailer ready.
Understandable.
But I can say, as a little hint, they're definitely a blast from the past, from a little show, we'll say.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, that's really exciting, and I know a lot of people are hype about just the characters in general coming out. They look really good. From what the trailers show, we did a lot more visual overhauls and improvements than what we show in these trailers. I guess to say a lot of the there was just a lot of model challenges that really kept us from doing what we wanted, I guess to say. We had a lot of... Everybody had a life thing going on, for the past long time, which is why, it took us so long to get to where we're at. But we're very close to at least getting this out. And yeah, Moe, map modding is a possibility. It's been talked about. That's not something we'll be able to get out this patch, but it's definitely a future patch thing we want to consider. We've talked about a bunch of different ideas that we do want to do for future patches. One of ours was kind of trying to do extra stuff in the battle mode, as well as oh goodness, there's so many ideas. Trying to remember one is just hard to do at the moment. But yeah, there was a lot of just different features we wanted to put in, and of course, the map modding is definitely a possibility. We've seen there's been demos of it that float around that you can see. One of our coders did a very interesting export. I think it was Gigan Device from ZG.
on top of Egg Factory.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah. So like the frameworks are there. It's just something that like I think we want to focus on making we want to finish up on the characters first, and then like we could probably focus more on map mods and other such stuff. So while our design scope is kind of limited, I would say limited, just smaller than what maybe the other mods are doing. We definitely have plans to try and implement a lot of that.
So, do you think that once, like, transitioning to Sonic Riders Future is, I guess, complete? Because pretty much, like, DX would be no more. It would just be completely Sonic Riders Future, right?
Well, so in our case, it would technically be a third mod.
Okay.
DX is now its own thing under the old, I guess the old leadership that we had split from years ago. So yeah, we're a third mod, kind of based on the DX framework. But we are trying to, get away from all of that. After all that drama had happened, those
understandable.
Ago. So
it would be pretty much its own entity.
Yeah, it would be its own entity, stand on its own two legs.
Okay. If anything, that's probably for the best.
Yeah.
Do you feel like once that comes out, then can we expect like content updates to be like more consistent? Do you guys have like a lineup of content that's going to be coming out one after the other, or is it going to be like, putting out a couple of things or one thing and then a bit of a wait in between, which is understandable for making something for riders in general?
Yeah, I think how it will probably go is that we'll do the one thing, we'll give it a little while to kind of consider what our next steps are, because like our biggest thing has just been get this first patch out, and get it ready, and give the people what they've been waiting for like ever from us, essentially. And then from there, I think we'll probably figure out what directions we want to go from there. So we're kind of playing it by ear a little bit, but we're hoping that we can make things a little more consistent than what they have been from the past.
Gotcha. Do you think there's going to be any plans to add more gears to the game outside of like new super forms?
So from what I know, the thing is with supers is that they're very hard to develop. Because like a lot of the existing supers, like we were able to balance them decently, but other supers, such as when we did Super Wave, for example, she was just absolutely broken and it was impossible to balance her. If you're familiar with Trap Gear, the one that spews out tornadoes like crazy, that was basically her, but with an extra boost on top of that was like high boosting.
Oh god.
The tornadoes were like level 3 tornadoes too. So not only was it really easy to just mess up your opponent if they were in the back,
right,
but the added boost on top of that just made her impossible to catch. So
it sounds like a headache.
Yeah, no, supers are insane to design. But in terms of like new gears, it's a possibility, but we haven't fully discussed it as an opportunity to develop, I guess. It's something we could definitely take into consideration, though.
Yeah, I just feel like I think some people have been wondering whether or not like other gears besides just the OG ones would be available. Although I would probably assume trying to put anything from like ZG or anything like that would also be kind of difficult, as they probably work a bit differently than OG boards do.
Yeah. What we are trying to do with the OG boards, though, right now is we are trying to redesign some of them to give them a difference from their previous patch counterparts.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like, I know we were putting the Opa Opa design over another gear, and we were going to give Opa a new design. Cover S might be getting a new. We're thinking of a new design. We had one in testing, but it was a little bit more powerful than what would have been like good for the balance of the game.
Gotcha.
Yeah, like its current effect is where if you hold it's like playing the boost games, like Unleashed, Rush, those sorts of things, in a racing sense. In its beta, I guess, iteration, it instead holds out the boost duration, and you can kind of mess with it a little bit more than you would with its current one. It's hard to explain because it's so technical.
Right.
But if you notice, like in the video where the auras kind of change a bit of color for indication that your boost is going to end.
Yes.
So you can hold out that boost. So when you're about to end, you can just extend that duration like infinitely.
Oh my gosh.
If you had the air for it. Yeah. So it really was just so broken. So we're not sure about putting that one in, but like we're trying to redesign gears overall is the main thing. So
in terms of go ahead, sorry.
Oh no, you're fine. Yeah, so just like overall, just like trying to make old gears feel new.
That's fair, honestly. Give a nice little polish to all of them. I'm trying to think if there's any gears in particular that like ever felt strange, but then again, I think when you're not super accustomed to the game, all the gears could feel really strange, so that's not necessarily so much on the game, so much as that's like player error. But in terms of like redesign and stuff like that, is redoing the character UV maps something that might be considered in the far future?
That one I'm not too overall familiar with. I'd have to say it's honestly outside of my realm of knowledge. I know some of the issues with like certain models and everything, but like I'm not too knowledgeable in terms of like UV mapping and stuff. That would probably be something that probably one of our other leaders would have a better time in answering.
Gotcha. Completely understandable.
Actually, I just got a DM. UV maps are on the table, but it's a big project.
Gotcha. Also understandable. Germ actually was wondering about that too, because they'd noticed like texture work on base roster was a little bit of a mess, and mostly just because OG writers in general, the way that they handle textures is really weird.
Yeah, no, it really is.
It's a really confusing mess, and I no rhyme or reason as to why it's organized that way, especially for certain characters just have it worse off than others, Cream especially.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah, don't really know what's going on with that one and why she got it so bad, but poor thing. But yeah, no, I just know that like, people when they, try to mess with colors and stuff like that, also wonder if that's going to be something that's on the table for the mod in general, if some are going to get nice little glow ups, and also if just working with those are going to be a bit easier.
As
it is a process either way.
Yeah, it's a process either way, but hey, it's on the table. We'll probably look at it at a future time.
Understandable. Okay, so in terms of characters, I know you can't talk about the new one that's going to come out, or like when, but seeing as how Blaze and Vector, got announced, and they both look great. Do you know if future characters are going to be done via community polling or just by dev choice after these 3 come out?
So, it's kind of I think some of it's going to be from past. I know we've had designs come in for certain characters, such as like some from the IDW, just as like ideas to put in. Mm-hmm. I know like 1 or 2 models have been like look at a community poll in the future, just to kind of get a sense of where most people want or what most people want. But I think we're still going to try and stick with a lot of what we already, I guess in a way, I wouldn't say promised, but like have had on the table for a while.
Gotcha. Chat's like, is Metal Sonic going to be in the future?
Yeah, he is. He's already in it, actually. The current iteration from like DX 2.0 that we're like somewhat based off of is like that's for future as well, because we were on the development teams for both parts and we just split to future now. So
understandable. Do you know if there's any tracks in general in future that are going to get glow ups? Like in one of the trailers, we saw the Chunan Splash Canyon, which gorgeous retexture of that. There's a few like retextures you'll see out there for maps. Is there any other ones that are going to come alongside future?
So actually, sorry to cut you off there. So there's been a lot of retexturing done for certain maps. We actually did a event.
Whoa, did Discord decide to be weird again? Let me double check. Sorry, chat, give me 1 second.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you now. Sorry, Discord decided to completely have your mic die out.
Yeah, no, I think I accidentally pulled out my cord.
Oh, no!
Yeah, that's my bad. So Babylon Garden, Green Cave, Sky Road, of course, Splash Canyon. So a lot of those got like updates, and they're a lot more colorful than what they used to be. Because like Green Cave, for instance, if you remember, it was very drab looking.
Yes, very dark.
Yeah, it was very dark. So we retextured it to be a lot more colorful and feel just vibrant. So yeah, there's a lot of different retexturings that we did for most of the stages. I think the only ones that stay mostly the same, I think Metal City's mostly the same, if I remember correctly. But I haven't seen a lot of, or I should say, I don't remember seeing all of the different textures being different. I think some of them just are the same.
That's exciting, though. Is there any hope for being able to eventually, for other people to be able to make? I'm gonna guess it's still gonna be able for people to, also do their own retextures and be able to plop them right in. But is there any hope of I don't know. I've heard people like dream about writers finally having like a map editor or a model importer in some way, shape, or form. Do you think Futures will ever have something like that?
Well, we actually do have a model importer.
Mm-hmm.
And I think all of the mods actually do, now that I think about it. It's a very much outside tool, but it is there. You can do that. I think, what is it? You can do model. I think it's model imports. There's music changes, so you can make your own music mod, and then there's something else too. I can't remember. Yeah, I guess the textures would also be the other thing. But yeah, so map editing. I don't think that one will probably also be an outside tool. You'd probably have to just design it in Blender and then import it into the game. But I mean, that's a potential possibility in the future to allow it to be more customizable per person, I guess, if they want to make their own versions of stages and such.
I mean, that would be pretty insane, to be honest. Imagine just a slew of brand new tracks available.
Yeah, it's very interesting. We actually did have we do have an idea for a design for a track. It was kind of, I don't know how, I guess I could spoil it just a little bit. It's kind of based on like a uphill race. Because most of them, you have like either straight pathing or it's more downhill. This one's just like a straight uphill race. Which ends with a really deep, I guess, dive in a way. That's kind of like the idea that it was. It was very, very interesting. So we're hoping to have our own, like when we do get to doing custom stages fully, like we do hope to implement a lot of interesting designs, and I think that would be at least personally one of them I would like to introduce.
That's so cool, though. That would be amazing.
Yeah.
Let's see. Is there anything else coming up for Writer's Future that you can tell us about that won't get me in trouble with the Lords That Be? I'm trying to be real careful with my words, which is why it's taking me a bit longer to come up with, to reword my questions. I don't want nobody to get in trouble.
Yeah, no, you're fine. So the only thing I can say is, I think once most of our other stuff is taken care of, there are a few upcoming events. I can't say yet that we are trying to attend, but we are working on getting a build out for them in hopes. So, you'll be able to hopefully play them soon.
That would be really fun. I'm so excited.
Yeah. Other than that, I think we'll be, I definitely want to try running a couple of tourneys and other events based on the new characters. And see
cool.
Yeah, see how all that goes. And I'm going to probably look at doing both an open invitation and a beginner invitation. Because I want because I want as many beginners to be able to play it and get a feel for it in a way that's different than what they might usually do.
That would be so cool. More tournaments are always the best, but what a great way to roll out new characters. Absolutely,
yeah. So
I can already imagine all the Vector mains. They're gonna come out of the woodwork. It's gonna be harder out there on the racetrack now. I can only imagine.
Yeah, the new characters definitely do bring a new. I would say honestly, they're a lot more beginner friendly than most of the other characters that are already in the game.
Oh yeah, how so?
Essentially, their main gimmick
is that you get more resources, more air and such through every means that you can use to get it. Tricks and air pits are faster, such as that. So I know a big issue for beginners is running out of resources way too quickly when trying to learn. So the new characters are based around, I guess to say, more of that beginner-friendly aesthetic where, more air, more resources, and of course they still play great with the pros too. So they're an overall win-win situation.
So exciting. I for one, am probably going to try Vector out first. Not that I don't like Blaze. I love her. I'm so glad that she's going to be in there. Thank God, finally. But, Vector, not been in before, want to try, he would be obviously he's power type, right?
Yes, he's power type, yep.
Oh my goodness. Is he going to have his own standard board, or is he just going to go with whichever board?
Every character that we add gets their own what we call default board.
Mm-hmm.
So Blaze has the Flamelands. Vector has his board is called Hard Boiled. And of course, and I love the design for it too, because it kind of has if I remember correctly, I think the back of it has a speaker in the back or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of plays to his roots of loving music.
Well, so why Hard-Boiled? That sounds more like an Eggman's name. I feel like you would have gone with the board name Boombox, and then it works with the whole speakers thing in the background.
Honestly, I wish I knew more on what the naming conventions were.
I understand Hard-Boiled detective, but it still sounds very Eggman, whereas Boombox works with the whole music thing.
Yeah, unfortunately, I wasn't really part of the naming conventions on that one, so I'm not too sure, but that was kind of what I think it might have been a vote, and that was just kind of what went with. Yeah, Hard-Boiled Detective, that kind of thought process.
I guess that's fair.
Went into it.
That's fair. I guess I can understand that. As soon as you said hard-boiled, I was like, okay, I get the detective shtick, but I don't know. I guess because you have the hard-boiled heavies and other stuff like that for Eggman. Anything egg pun related is totally Eggman in some way, shape, or form. Hard not to when you can, race as him. So obviously he would probably have something that's also called hard-boiled for a different reason. So yeah, no, I get that. Have you tried out Vector before?
Yeah, I've tried out all the characters. I personally will have to say I haven't been. I would say I haven't been able to figure out their more technical secrets.
Mm-hmm.
I still was able to only get maybe the par times for what we consider competitive.
Mm-hmm.
So anything that was for Metal City, for example, our par time for competitive in the open invitations is 1 minute 45 seconds. I could get maybe a 1:44 with someone like Blaze or Vector versus with someone like Ulala, for example, I could get a 1:41, 1:42. So, yeah, I've tried them. I haven't been able to really dig deep into their bag of tricks, but I'm hopeful that I can learn their secrets soon enough.
Unravel their inner machinations.
Yeah, essentially, yeah.
I still think it's exciting that we're gonna have these two brand new characters that are gonna have people invest even more time to figure them out. It's gonna definitely reinvigorate the community. Not that I think it's going through any stagnation, so to speak, but you know, in between new things coming out and, you know, tournaments and little events and stuff like that, anything that's like going to drop and change the game in some way is going to be explosive, you know?
Oh yeah, absolutely. No, I agree with you on that.
Out of the 2 characters that you tried, which one do you feel was the most fun?
No, I should say 3. Out of the 3 characters I tried, I would have to say I enjoyed Blaze a lot more than I did Vector and the Secret Third.
Mm-hmm.
Blaze just there's like a lot of her animations are based on Jet's designs.
Mm-hmm.
But like we in her level 2 we have her sword. Level 3 we gave her some fan. We kind of took the fan design and gave her like Bancho fans or something that fit her color scheme. That just looks so beautiful. I'm not even gonna lie.
Aw, that's awesome though. Blaze getting the love she deserves.
Indeed.
But goodness, yeah, no, if anything, lots of exciting stuff coming up for Writer's Future. I know a lot of people are very, like, high anticipation about all the stuff coming out. I know you can't say a lot. The fans' references from the murder of Sonic the Hedgehog.
Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog. Oh, okay, yeah.
Gotcha. But I, for one, definitely I'm just happy there's things that are being done and coming out. You know what I mean? Like, it's more so just the wait for something is so exciting.
Yeah, it really is. And I'm so happy. I'm really glad we're finally getting something, you know, done versus, like, having it stagnate for a while that we used to. We're back in the game and we're hoping to get something out there for everybody.
In terms of tournament scene, I'm pretty sure it goes without saying it's pretty competitive over there. There's a lot of veteran players over there, or at least people who have been playing the game for a good amount of time. Especially.
Yeah, so we so yeah, a lot of it's like the top 15, honestly, of players. Mm-hmm. Some dip, some come back, you know, it's all part of the cycle of I guess a writer's player. You know, you play it for a long time, you take a small break, you come back to it after a little while. But yeah, it still stays pretty competitive overall. We do want, again, you know, while having our veteran players playing as well as they do, we still want to bring in more new people to the experience, and hope that they want to become just as good. And we, you know, it just makes it a lot more fun when you can throw another hat into the ring.
Right, and I just feel like because of the tournament seed is really what's kept this game in people's minds for as long as it has been. Because I'm sure, probably you agree with this, I feel like writers got dealt a bad hand because of how it was brought out. It wasn't super heavily advertised, and when it did drop, again, there wasn't an easy way to learn how to play this game. And so a lot of people will be like, I like this game, but I have no idea how to play it. I don't know what to do. I don't know how anything works. And I feel like now that there's like other like resources and reference material that you guys now have access to, including communities with the modding scene, that genuinely speaking, there's probably a bigger amount of people coming into the community now more than ever, because now there's actual reason to. There's instruction, there's people that have played that you can learn from. There's like tournaments and actual events being held, so there's things to participate in. The sense of community is getting larger by the day, at least from my experience. But you guys do host like a lot of different circuits, yeah?
Yeah, we do. We paused on it for a good while. If only because the brackets always kind of ended up a lot of the same. So I think what we really want to do is just start again hosting those tournaments. But I do want to try and do a lot more beginner focused stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, like with all the tournaments you've been doing, that it just helps so much, especially for the beginner scene. In my own honesty, like I started like kind of losing a bit of love for some of the scene because of just all of how a lot of the same it felt. But seeing like all the new beginners, especially over here at the Glitchy Galaxy community, like that relit that fire in me. That was like, you know what? Let's keep going with this. And I'm so glad that I didn't stop with it. That I kept going.
I'm so glad.
Yeah, so definitely a huge inspiration for me. Thank you to yourself. So yeah, no, I want to get back into doing tourneys again and all that fun stuff. And I'm hoping that like in the future maybe I can actually play in more tourneys than hosting them, because that was a lot of my job, was doing the hosting and not as much of the playing. So getting somewhere else where I could actually do that's where the fun is, I think.
Completely understand that. Also in same boat. I want to play so much, and I get to sometimes, but most of the time because I'm hosting or co-commentating along with the lovely Germ, I don't get to very often.
Yeah.
So I understand the pain.
Yeah, a lot of times, like for me, I take the hosting of tournaments very seriously.
Mm-hmm.
I've always had the personal, like a lot of our hosts that we do have on the team, the tourney team, like they do play in their own tournaments. I'm a person where like if I'm needed in any form, like for commentary or for hosting, like I don't play in those.
Right.
So like it got to a point like I'm pretty sure that I was doing more like hosting than playing, and so like getting a chance to finally play again, it felt so good.
I'm honestly glad to hear that.
Yeah, I take my tourney stuff seriously, so I never play if I'm commentating or hosting. But if somebody else is, I definitely bet I will be there and I will try to play.
Hooray! I honestly, I try and take advantage of when I'm actually able to, only because I don't get to practice very often. And so for me, this is a very bad idea, people don't do this, tournaments sometimes are my practice. Very hard honestly, practice, but still.
Tournaments are their own practice, actually. It's a good way to think of it. Because going back to like my own experiences, so as a beginner, when you do these tourneys, they're nerve-wracking. Like even if they're low stakes and stuff, like being presented with the challenge of other players, it can really mess you up. And so, like, honestly, play in as many tourneys as you can to get your practice, not only for tourneys, but for just the game in general. You especially if many of them are, like, recorded and posted, like, you can get a better understanding of where you went wrong in a race, and get a better sense of where you can improve in your skill.
That's a fair point, in all honesty. I guess I always worry about, like, wasting a slot going into tournaments because I'm not fairly good. However, this is also coming from somebody who encourages other people, no matter their skill set, to still jump in on tournaments and try. So it very much is a practice what you preach type of deal.
Yeah, no, it really is. I mean, that was definitely my thought going into it too. Practice what you preach, and just play as many as you can.
I just feel like it feels worth it though to try and compete against other people, because you can practice by doing time trials on your own, but it's really different when you're up against another person. It's a completely different factor you don't get when you play by yourself, when you're running the track by yourself, because that variable's unpredictable.
Yeah, no, and I definitely say when you can, for any of you new beginners that are playing it and getting used to it, always try to net play as much as possible with other people. Like, even if you get your butt kicked a lot, and Lord knows I did. It took me a year before I stopped getting my butt kicked so much, and that was because I was constantly on the game. But just practice with people and learn your course as best you can. Consistency is, of course, key for knowing your routes, but when you're going into net play matches and tournaments, you always want to be able to have a plan B and understand the extra mechanics like slipstream and turbulence that are only present in those net play matches.
Understandable. True. You won't even know how any of those work unless you're going up against another person.
Yeah, you just don't understand a lot of the deeper mechanics until you go up against another person. That's the biggest thing I can say.
No, that's fair. Completely agree with you. I have a question for Roxanne. What is your favorite track in any of the Riders games?
Sky Road is definitely a top favorite, but that's only mainly because I partially developed the speedrun routing for Neo Metal Sonic, the Super of Metal Sonic for the patch. My goodness, is he broken? The other thing I'd have to say is Sega Carnival is definitely a really has been a track I've always been obsessed with. It's I'd probably say one of my best tracks as well. In terms of ZG, maybe, because I didn't play ZG until much later. I want to say it's not Meteor. I don't think it's Meteor Tech, but it's the fourth or fifth stage in the Heroes selection. Or Aquatic Capital, actually. I really enjoy Aquatic Capital.
Ooh.
Water state, anything that feels like a water park or a beach kind of thing are automatically my vibe.
The water park stages in general for any racing game usually are very cool.
Yeah, no, they're always my vibe. And then Free Riders, trying to think. I guess the Final Factory Advanced is cool. I mean, it's a lot more it definitely is a lot more reaction based than most of the other stages. Because you really just have to know when to pull off certain actions, like your grabs and your jumps and whatnot.
Out of the 3 games that you've played, which one would be considered your favorite? OG, ZG, or Free Riders?
Honestly, OG would probably just have to be my favorite. I didn't enjoy ZG as much. And Free Riders I definitely didn't really enjoy all that much. ZG had I liked the dive mechanic, but it wasn't going to keep me back where OG was. if only because that beautiful trick system. It's so good.
Right.
I mean, like you can see in a lot of the tournaments at the higher levels, with what we call trick cancels, where it just looks like the characters are spinning and flipping around in just super fast ways. When you figure out how trick canceling works, you never want to stop doing it. You know,
it's just a reflex. It's nice dopamine.
Yeah, it's just nice dopamine.
Out of the 3 games, which were your mains to race with?
In terms of character or gear, because
I assume both.
In terms of character, if I was playing vanilla, I'd mostly just play Sonic. But in terms of the mod, I have so many unique picks. For example, I would play. I think I'd say I'd mostly stick with the all-rounder classes, which is like Ulala, Knights, and I'm trying to think of the other one. Eggman. Okay. So, out of those, I would say I play Ulala the most. And then I'll switch up to the supers depending on stage. Like Night Chase, I'll play either Super Sonic or Super Knuckles. For Sega Illusion, I play the Super Shadow, just because of the routing I developed for that, which was really developing your own routing. Quick side tangent on that. It's very interesting, because if you figure out how something works in a way, like you can make it potentially one of the best. Like I'm pretty sure when I developed the Super Shadow routing, it like changed the game of Illusion for a good while.
Ooh.
Yeah. And it's still one of the hardest picks to beat, if only because of that. Then some stages where multi-typing is my favorite, so I'll pick Access, which is my absolute favorite gear. Just because I love being able to go from grinding into flying. And so many different stages like allow for that. So Green Cave is like the best example I can give for speed access, because you're immediately going from the grind. You take a little bit, then you can fly around. It's very non-interactive, which can be boring for some racers to play against. But it is also fun at the same time for just me to play, because I like to kind of play the game of, can you get me or can you not get me when I race?
Oh, the chase tactic. How fun.
Yeah, the chase tactic is very fun for me. But yeah, so in terms of like most things, yeah, I would say like Ulala Knights are my most played. And then if there's a specific situation, I might switch over to one funny thing. I think it was for Red Canyon specifically. I'll pick Chaos and cover S. If only for the extra boost speed for the beginning part, because its whole game plan is that in Red Canyon, you can essentially infinitely boost with cover S power types. So with Chaos, you get the extra boost speed that helps get the level 3 quickly. And then if you're able to get in front of your opponent after the level 3, then you can you essentially just run with the game on your infinite boost. You don't have to worry about anything. And if you fall like a little far behind, because of the slipstream mechanic, which gives you extra speed if you're in with like a certain vicinity of your opponent, you could go up to like 290, 300 speed. Just
wow.
boosting alone. Yeah. No, it's insane. And Honestly, I was laughing my butt off as I developed that one too. It was so funny. And I've been looking at it at other stages. It's not as infinite boosting, but like you can definitely make it work with really funny tactics.
That sounds hilarious on so many levels.
Yeah.
Hold on. Trying to see this other question here. Oh wait, no, that was the previous question. It was scrolled up too far. I was like, why is it scrolled all the way? Chat, if you do have any questions, feel free. We will take them. I have been reading some of the ones that you have been posting, so do not worry. I am trying to keep good track of them. We did have a slight disconnection in the chat, though, at one point, so if you're not seeing previous messages, I do apologize. We should be back. I think Sammy just went down for like a couple of seconds and then was just like, I'm back. I'm free. I'm alive.
Yeah.
In terms of other questions, though, I got some very fun, weird ones. Okay. In terms of matchups that you've like maybe been up against, what's the most troublesome like combination that you've been up against that causes you a lot of trouble when you race?
In terms of just anybody playing,
yeah, what's your nightmare matchup?
My nightmare matchup, in terms of just a pick, it would have to be Tails Cannonball.
Fair.
My old friend, he doesn't play it much anymore, except I think in the Brazil server, JP Tails. He constantly would use Tails Cannonball, and the way he played it was. I have to say it was its own work of art as well, because you have Tails' insane hitboxes,
right,
on top of a gear that can basically traverse anywhere it wants to. So if you're playing a normal gear, it could just run ahead of you. Place a tornado down, boost away, and then if you try to attack it, it can just simply slide to a different direction from you, and you can't hit it.
Oh God!
So that's my nightmare matchup. In terms of players, though, honestly, I would have to say our number one in the world, Salaga. He's the nightmare player to get matched up against.
Really?
Yeah, there's a reason he's regarded as the number one player in Riders, mod Riders history, I'd say.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I mean, you'd think, a lot of the legends you'd hear about him are, myth, but no, they're all true. It's so insane. I remember for, one of the other patches, I think it was Tournament Edition, when they first released their 1.4 batch, he didn't take any of the time to learn the new mechanic they put in there, and he won solely off the basics alone.
Wow.
Yeah, and this was he was learning the game that day too, and he still won. It was insane.
That's insanity. Yeah. Sounds scary, like a powerhouse.
Oh yeah, no, man is insanely a powerhouse. But if you ever get matched up against him, there's a few ways I feel like you can tell when he's being serious against you, when he's not. If he's using a random gear, he's not being all that serious, but he's still scary. Right. If he pulls out his favorite, that's when you know it's serious.
What's favorite?
It's Heavy Bike.
No.
So because of its game plan, he has it set out for every stage. He knows exactly what routing to use, how to play it. I mean, it's wow. So yeah, definitely, it's definitely fun. I've very rarely beaten him in any races.
Goodness gracious, this sounds
Yeah.
freaking scary. I already have enough
Yeah,
problems with Juju.
Yeah, no, he's terrifying to play against. I think he's the only one I still get chills with when I play against him. Oh man.
Goodness gracious. Also, Azzy, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome in. Hi, I went into a panic over a cabinet. Explain? Building a cabinet? Did you have like an IKEA stream? What's going on?
Oh god, not IKEA furniture. Oh.
That's a Dark Souls playthrough.
It's a Dark Souls playthrough in itself. Oh man.
Here are your instructions. Here are your tools. Good luck. He was Italian?
Yeah.
What?
Oh man.
Oh, you were playing Date Everything, weren't you? That's why you're saying.
Okay.
You went into a panic over a cabinet. He was Italian. I lost my mind. That's
Jacob,
amazing.
Yeah. Jacob, what controller do you use for tournaments?
Yes.
So I play with a HoriPad PS4 controller. It was made more for like kids and people with smaller hands, but I bought it for my PS4 like so many years ago, and I never had a use for it. So I just used that as my competitive controller, and that thing served me well. It does hurt my hands from time to time after a good like 8 hours with it, but you know, I use it for all of my gaming and my racing, and it's been the most reliable $30 controller I've ever had. I don't go for the elite stuff or like all the stuff that most people go to. If it's cheap, it's reliable, and it works really well, that's all I care about. $30 get you a PS4 controller that wired, and you don't got to worry about it. That's all I needed.
No, that's fair. That's fair. I use like just a regular Xbox 360 controller, and it has served very well. I had an old one that unfortunately served a little too well because the A button and the triggers stopped working because they are the most used for racing games. So I use them so much, they're just broken now.
Yeah, I used to use an Xbox One controller.
Mm-hmm.
But then after a while, like because it was wireless, I felt like it was missing some of my inputs at points.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided to move to my PS4 controller and relegate the Xbox controller back to its original console.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. And it sits there to this day. Sometimes I'll like use it for like stuff on my PC, depending on like if the game just isn't compatible with mine and the Steam input just isn't working or something. But most of the times, like it's still just back at the Xbox.
Understandable. All reliable always comes in clutch.
Yeah, it really does.
Another question was, out of the tournaments that you did get to participate in, which one was the most memorable to you?
Oh, the most memorable one. That's a really tough question because there's a lot of good memorable ones.
Mm-hmm. But what's like a favorite?
The favorite?
Yeah, favorite.
I would have to say, I think the release of 2.0 was probably my favorite one. I didn't get to participate in it, unfortunately. I was busy that day, but getting to watch as this what was it? We had like 64 plus players in it when it dropped, and just getting to see every bit. Like we had 3 streams going for it. Getting to watch all of that was just so fun. And the finale race between Frenchie Pierre and Salaga was it was definitely one to definitely tell a tale of.
Ooh, against the top rider, that's insane.
Yeah, no, I mean, like he before Frenchie had we had to get him to leave the community, but his skill was definitely among that of Salaga, He was probably one of the only few people that could actually beat Seliga at that point.
Wow.
Yeah, nowadays it's Hope, who we consider our number 2, I think, and then Ice, who is again one of our tops. I think she'd probably tie for number 2 at with Hope, if not at number 3 or so.
That's so
yeah.
cool, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You've done co-commentating on some of the tournaments as well, right?
Yeah, I would say since we made Writers Underground, I'd probably say I've hosted and co-commentated most every single one of them.
Goodness.
So, definitely have a lot of experience with that.
Co-commentating has always been so interesting to me. I get to do it, but Germ genuinely and Juju are a lot better at it than I am, as they have a lot more experience with it. But it's always interesting to hear them go back and forth about stuff that's going on screen in such an in-depth way. And so quickly, too. They speak really fast.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those things, like, you definitely have to have the knowledge, but you also need to keep it entertaining as well. So, like, for us, like, when it's just one person, it's really hard to keep it entertaining yourself. When it's 2 people, it's a little easier. But when you can bring in a third that's like, maybe not necessarily not as knowledgeable, but like bring some different energy to the table that isn't just tech insider knowledge kind of thing. Those are the tournaments where it's the most fun. Like, I remember we had, was it like the fast food tier list some years ago or something like that, during the intermission of one of the picks during the tournament, which was really funny. We've talked about so many different, like, things that just, you never expect to see it in a tournament that maybe you wanted to see professionally. But I think we like keeping it in a business casual sense for our tournaments.
Gotcha. I feel in terms of the tournaments that we've had in general, they've all been learning experiences in both gameplay and just the way that they're run and the commentation in general. I am super envious of the fact that you get to that you're able to do all of this, honestly. Like, can I just say, like, you're in like the epicenter right now of like all of this cool stuff that's like going down for the community, and that's genuinely just so cool. Like, that's so exciting. As you had expressed, you know, you get to see a lot of these things kind of coming to fruition around you. And that's genuinely, I don't know, when it comes to the Sonic community, that's always probably the most fun. I'd say, like, within the Sonic community, I think it means a lot more just because we fans are the very much of we're just gonna do it ourselves type deal. So a lot of the stuff in the community, the modding community, very much is the whole I'm just gonna do it myself. Including, like, bringing writers into the competitive eye, knowing how much potential this title had, and kind of seeing it come to fruition in various mods that are out there in order to bring that to a much more competitive and invested gaming scene now. Do you expect that, like, you know, with Crossworlds and stuff coming out, reintroducing the Extreme Gear and new people who possibly don't even know what Riders is, because we have a lot of new and young fans coming through, do you think you're gonna see like an influx of new people try out Riders or like join into the Riders community from being introduced to Extreme Gears through Crossworlds?
So that's I would say at least it's a personal expectation with Crossworlds. I know a lot of people will be nostalgic, at least for the old Riders games. So I definitely expect a slight influx. I don't know, like, I couldn't give you like a real estimation of how many people I'd expect, like, in an average.
Mm-hmm.
But I would definitely say that like there will be an uptick in players for a little while, and of course, there's always the hope that they'll stick around and want to get good alongside us.
Right.
So that's the I would say it's the main hope is hopefully Crossworlds will give us that little extra bit of promotion, I guess.
I have this feeling genuinely that it's going to become that, because I don't know, anytime there's been like a sudden reintegration of like a Sonic anything, suddenly we've got like more people just kind of showing up and trying to try out these things that they didn't get to try in the beginning. Because we know that, like, you know, the OG one, though it was really cool, wasn't like the best received, only because it was kind of complicated and nobody knew how to play it and stuff like that. Also, there was a lot of other games coming out alongside Riders when it came out. It was just one of those like lost potential spin-offs, which I'm really glad is back. I think it's interesting that the main game that they're throwing out for Crossworlds, you know, is bringing back Extreme Gears. They know that Riders has gotten popular again. I mean, we had an arc in IDW that had Riders in it. They're slowly bringing that IP back around, or at least that game idea back around. And although it definitely seems like the gears are not going to handle the same as the Extreme Gears we know, still, it might get people like asking, like, where did these come from? What are Extreme Gears from? Are they a reference to something? And then it could get people to look into it and be like, oh, it comes from Sonic Riders. I've never heard of that. Let me try it. I really hope they go to the modded stuff first and not the OG.
Yeah, I think some will. Because I know a lot of people will, especially in today's today's gamers, a lot of times they at least from what I see, they want to try out an experience that's a little more quality of life than the original. Mm-hmm. So I definitely do expect a lot of people to try out the modded versions first. But on that same spectrum, I do also expect people to check out the original game first and then check out the modded versions. If only because a lot of people, much like me, I like to try the original game first before I really check out much of the modded versions of things.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I mean, I would expect those either way.
I really hope, honestly, because I feel like I don't know. I feel like Riders is in a pretty good place right now in terms of, like, you know, just the community itself. Got new things coming out. There's more people that are interested in the tournament scene. There's a lot of people that are interested in the modding in general. There's a good amount of people that's following these things, at least from what I've seen. So I think having even more people come through and get really interested on where it came from, and then get introduced into the modding community, and that just grows. That means there's going to be a whole new pool of competitors, right? Being injected into the competitive roster already. Because I think one thing that you had mentioned is that a lot of really top players play over where you're at, and you haven't had a lot of other skill set players, mostly just like top players playing each other, so it, as you mentioned, like ends kind of the same way most of the time.
Yeah, essentially. So yeah, that's the hope. Like I said, always get new people in and interested, and you know, of course, we always. I think once we get a handle on everything, with patches and all that fun stuff, like I definitely would like to try and get this out there more, similar to like the Smash community and such, and maybe make it to a real esport like it's like its other contemporaries. I think it would be really fun.
Yeah, it would be really fun. Okay, you're about to get a lightning round of questions of
Sounds
various
good.
different categories, and we're gonna start with a real easy one. So, growing up, what was your favorite like Sega game of all time? Doesn't even have to be a Sonic game. If it is, it's totally fine. But what was like your favorite Sega game growing up?
Growing up, I would have to say my favorite Sega game growing up would probably have to be Sonic 3 and Knuckles.
Okay.
I as much as like I loved a lot of the 3D stuff, and like I grew up mostly with the adventure era, of course, into Boost era, yada yada. But I would say that Sonic 3 and Knuckles has been the one I've always gone back to the most. If only because I think the game has a lot more replayability than most of the other games in the series. Like, both in terms of classic and modern senses.
Gotcha. Honestly, Sonic and Sonic. God, this title. Sonic 3 and Knuckles is a really good choice. Because I feel like a lot of the stuff that was executed within 1 and 2 got polished up and done to the max in 3. Although Sonic 2 has kind of got a soft spot for me because that was my first Sonic game, like, ever. Was 2, but 3 is really good.
My very first was actually the original Sonic the Hedgehog. The very first one.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, growing up, my mother was also a big gamer. So we had a Genesis and a Nintendo 64. And Sonic on the Genesis was my very first game. Well, at least for the Genesis, I should say. So I've probably replayed Green Hill Zone so many times in just that alone that like it's probably more than I'd have to say more than I can count. I wish I had a better metaphor for it, but like it's just been so many times I've played Green Hill Zone, and that was since like 3 years old. So,
oh my gosh.
The amount of times I play, so the amount of times I play Green Hill Zone is insane. It just every time I play it, it just feels like home.
You're just like, lovely, welcome back.
Yeah, essentially.
Okay, so out of like all Sonic characters, which would be considered your favorite, and which would be considered one that you're like, I don't really care for it?
I'd have to say just the Blue Blur himself is my absolute favorite.
Gotcha.
Definitely was one of my biggest things as a kid in terms of like how I developed, I guess, as personality-wise into a person. And then least favorite that I don't really care too much on. I think it would probably have to be... I think it'd probably be Charmy. I'm not a huge fan of the Bumblebee, unfortunately.
That's a very that's a standard answer. I feel like some people could definitely agree with that. Is there a reason why you don't super like Charmy? Is it mostly because he's like super loud, just a very obnoxious child?
I think that's part of it, but the other part of it is like there's not much for me to, because a lot of the characters that are my favorites I relate to in some way. Or like I take a mindset that's very similar to theirs. With Charmy, I just don't have that. And so I feel, so that's why I'm like, I just don't care as much for him as I would other characters.
Gotcha. I mean, I can see that. He doesn't really add a whole lot, even to the group that he's in. I mean, in Heroes, he, like, flew, but so what? In all honesty, that could have been anybody.
Yeah. I relate more to Big the cat than I do Charmy, and that's, like,
that
saying
says
something.
a lot.
Yeah.
I just want to fish, goddammit. Big is my spirit animal.
When I was playing Free Frontiers, I spent hours fishing. I'm not even gonna lie.
Same. I think I 100% did fishing before I actually completed the game.
No, it's the same. Yeah.
It's too good. It's too, like, the music also. The music in the fishing spot is just so lovely. Like, how could you not feel comforted and relaxed?
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
But also all the stuff you could get too.
Yeah. No. I think it's really funny because fishing is one of my, like, favorite mini games. And, like, I know people despise fishing as a mini game mechanic, but, like, I don't know, something about it's just so, like, serene. Like I could never go out in real life and catch a fish, but I'll happily catch one in a game.
No, honestly, for me, a game is like it's make or break if it has a fishing minigame in it. If it does, I'm totally in. I don't even care what it is. If it's got a fishing minigame in it, I need it. I need to play the game. I need to understand. Because they have culture if they put a fishing game in it.
Yeah, it's really funny. Like, with my girlfriend's friends, me and a couple of her friends, we play a little indie game sometimes called Dinkum.
Ooh, I've heard of that one.
Yeah, and they have a fishing thing that you can do, and that's all I do. I don't contribute in any way besides fishing and money. Like, when they need something paid off, I just go fishing for like 3 days, and I've got the town paid off. Like,
you're just like, ta-da! I've brought home harvest.
Yeah, no, it's really funny. Like, if I'm not doing fishing, I might be a taxi service to them because, like, you have to use licenses you have to use, like, licenses to be able to drive the vehicles or whatever.
Oh my god, yeah.
I upgraded mine all the way to, like, the max so that I could use, like, flying machines when we finally get them. And,
oh my god, you're the premium Uber.
Yeah, I am premium Uber, and it's so funny.
I have the trunk space and the air space. Let's go.
Yeah. It was really
Hello,
funny.
Clammy VR. Welcome in. MILF. Man, I love fishing. Yes, Forden.
That's funny, Forden.
Absolutely. Man, I love I need a hat. I actually have a hat that my community gave me.
Oh,
that's the whole, like, women fear me, fish fear me type deal.
Oh my god, that's funny. Yeah, no, we definitely need a Man, I Love Fishing hat or something.
Yes,
so
please. That would be so cool. I really want to hold a fishing event where, like, the idea is everybody joins in, but they're playing a different fishing minigame in a different game. Like, somebody's playing, like, the fishing in Frontiers, and then another player is playing, like, the fishing game in Yakuza. Then another person's playing, like, Sega Bass Fishing, and then somebody else is playing, like, another fishing game in a different, like, Sega minigame, like, and it just keeps going.
Yeah, they're playing, like, the Frontiers one, and then somebody busts out, like, the random odd, like, Dragon Ball Z Kakarot fishing minigame or something.
Yes, and, like, some people are, like, in Animal Crossing or Stardew or Harvest Moon or something. And I just think it would be so funny. I still very much want to do it. I just don't know how I'm going to be able to do it, but I would love to do that. It'd be so funny. Yeah. I will invite you for fishing. You have to come fishing.
Yes, that will be so fun. I would love to.
Yes, fishing, Sega Bass Fishing.
Yeah, so Clammy, to answer your question, it's some old tourney footage. It is modded Sonic Riders. Yeah, this is the DX 2.0 patch, while we're still developing the future patch, as we call it, for the first future patch.
Yeah, that's cool. I know. Looking at the tournament footage, though, the people in here, I like seeing the routes that they're taking, and also reminding me certain shortcuts that I don't remember exist.
Yeah, I mean, good lord, the amount of shortcuts that you do have to remember for legal tournament skipping is just it's a lot at first. That's why I always like recommend like if you want to start somewhere, like you should start with Splash Canyon, if only because the skips there are just very simple. Like you have the top ramp skip, the bottom ramp skip, and then from there you yeah, I mean those are like the two main ones. Unfortunately, after the 2.0 patch release, we had to get rid of my favorite skip, which is the zero hoop fly skip. I miss that skip so much.
Which one's that one again?
So up after the waterfall QTE, there's the 3 fly hoops with that little ramp. Normally, you're supposed to just take the 3 and continue on the track, but back in the 1.0 patch for DX, you used to be able to do variations where you did like, and you can actually do them in the original game too. You can take like 2 hoops and like fly off to the left to reach the bridge earlier. You can also do it in 1, which is a little harder. Or if you're really skilled and you can avoid the invisible wall in the little cave section that you use, you can angle yourself to do it without any of the hoops. And it's really it takes a lot of skill to master it, but it was really fun to do. I think if I remember correctly, I was the only one in Riders history to pull it off all 3 times in a tournament before.
Really?
Yep.
That's so freaking cool.
Yeah, it was definitely one of my proudest achievements, to say the least.
My greatest achievement. Honestly, you being like able to pull that off 3 times is really insane, and if anything, it speaks volumes about your skill.
Yeah, I try to stay humble about my skill, but sometimes I do a little brag, you know.
I like to stay humble, by the way.
Yeah, no, I really do try. So it's very rare that I ever let myself brag about my skill, but this is one of those few times that I will allow myself to. Yeah, no, like when you really do get to the skill level that I'm at, like you really do start understanding a lot more of the game itself. And like for me, I move between going back to the basics and then experimenting. I was experimenting for a solid like 2 weeks to find new picks, which is how I ended up developing the Cover S Infinite boost strategy. It was just really funny for Red Canyon. And then other times I do like to go back to my old picks and try to clean up their routing a little bit. So like the Sega Carnival pick where I do E10G and Access, which just gives me like better, like E10G. Another side tangent. He in current patch, he is literally the god of all types. Like if you just give him a type granting gear, he can do it better than most of the actual types, which is really funny. Like we had to really nerf him to make him not what I jokingly call E10 God.
Oh my god.
Yeah. No,
anybody who uses E10 is scary though.
Yeah, no, E10G is a scary pick when somebody knows how to use them, and yeah, when you give them a type, it's just even scarier sometimes. I think with that pick specifically, E10G Access on Sega Carnival, I think that got me a tie for 4th place on the speedrun leaderboard. Because, like I said, because E10G is just so good at being a type.
Right.
Yeah.
I love E10G, the stat ball beatstick.
That's literally what it is. He's just big number.
Yep.
Equal better racer.
Big number go up, number hurt very, very much. Number hit
pretty much.
very, very hard.
It really does.
Out of all the supers in DX, do you think that any of them are like broken? Like just too much.
Oh yeah, no. I kid you not when I say, Super Amy is as an unwritten agreement between everybody is never used.
Really?
We had after DX 2.0 released, because we didn't get as much time to test those supers as we would have normally wanted. Super Amy ended up being so broken. She had gotten world record pace
Whoa.
on every stage, just because of her drift and her lightboard ability. When you play her at a lower level, it's really hard to see how she can be so broken. But it's once you get up to that higher level, you can understand just how insane she actually is. So yeah, unwritten rule. She's just like, she's not banned, but if you play her, you're a bit of a meanie butt, I guess to say.
You're a bully.
You're a bully. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Like if
you didn't
really
come in here to win.
her,
You came in here to fight me and make me feel bad.
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, it's her. She's like the most broken. She just smashes world records like crazy. The other one is actually my favorite super to play, Neo Metal Sonic. He's not as broken as Super Amy, but he comes very close. The only reason he's not like unwritten agreement banned is because he takes a lot of skill to actually play and master. Because you have to consider when to transform, when to get out of that transformation, alongside all of your resources. And just a hit or two can actually really mess up his game plan. So that's why, like, as broken as he is speed-wise, he's not that best competitive-wise. But boy, does he sure come close in a lot of places.
Goodness.
Sky Road, for example. And this is one of the few times that I've beaten Salaga because of him. Essentially, his routing is like you take because he's multi-typing and the transformations just being absolutely perfect for him, and just specifically that stage for some reason it's really funny. You can gather the 25 rings necessary, but it's obviously recommended you try to go higher before transforming, just for that higher cruise speed. But yeah, you get like the 30 rings to transform in like the first, 20-ish seconds. And then his transformation makes one of the more difficult skips of the game, the bombastic skip, trivial. You can just simply transform and you can just jump over the walls. Normally for the bombastic skip, you have to drift dash into a jump and just hope you make it. But Neo Metal, you don't even have to worry about it. It just happens.
Wow. Just pretty much everything is a suggestion, just goes right on through.
Yeah, no, yeah, your normal tactics just holds no meaning. So
wow.
Yeah. So unless you're like taking away resources from him and you're able to like get past him in the beginning, that's like your only hope to win it. And even then, you're still not guaranteed.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's insanity. Though that already sounds like it would be a huge problem. Just the fact that like attribute that with everything else, it's just like, oh no.
Yeah.
So I can see where that one would probably be a problem.
Yeah, that's why. That's why whenever I'm in tournament, everybody bans Skyroad against me because they know that they're just gonna have a problem with me on that.
They're like, no, you don't get to do your map. Nuh-uh.
Yeah, no, you don't get to do that pool routing. It's not fun for me.
Just like it's just because you can't catch me. That's so mean.
Yeah, that's why I always have to go skill issue. Oh.
Did the Eggman intercom not work, or is it off? It worked. Give me a sec. It should have worked. I heard it go off.
Yeah.
Go ahead and redeem it one more time, Conquer. Actually, no, let me redeem it. Don't do it. I got you. Oh, it's on a cooldown. Never mind. It should be on. And the volume is on. Let's see, because this hydrate one is also linked to Sammy.
Hey, you! Yeah, you, the one looking at the phone all googly-eyed? Did you eat today? Did you drink water? No? I thought not. Go get on that shit!
Well, that one worked. Very interesting. Hold on.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, it works with Sammy. Huh, weird. Maybe it was just a short one and I didn't hear it. I will be sure to redeem one in your honor when the cooldown is down, okay? I promise. There we go. Hold on, let's see if it works. It is not.
Huh.
That's so strange.
Yeah. That's very odd.
Because I hear it. So I'm wondering why everybody else can't hear it. It was working in the last stream. Somebody redeemed it just fine.
Weird.
That's probably because during stream, Sammy disconnected itself. Let's see what's going on.
Gotta do some quick checking.
Always something. Save. I'm blaming Omochow. Me too. Wondering why it's... Let's hold on. Advanced audio properties. Maybe it's being weird.
Yeah. So my mic's a little bit weird. So like I'm playing with it a lot. If only because like I'm also holding it too, so that might also be an issue. So I'm sorry if you hear a lot of movement coming through my mic.
Alright, let's see if this works. Nope. That's so strange that I'm hearing it, but they're not. Even though I switched it to the output, they're not hearing it somehow. That's so strange.
Huh.
Strange.
Foxy says maybe disconnect and reconnect Sammy.
I could definitely give it a shot. We did it. Eggman can't spy on us anymore. Eggman is defeated.
I started thinking of the Robotnik, like from the was it the Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog cartoon?
Mm-hmm.
Blasted Hedgehog!
I'm more laughing because I can hear him. So I'm wondering how I'm able to hear it, but nobody else is.
Oh, man.
OBS. Yeah, not too sure because it says it's active. And it's checkmarked. Huh, that's so weird. I will have to figure out why that's not working suddenly. I apologize. It probably is genuinely that because during midstream Sammy disconnected. That it's not working. But I do apologize if one of my mods could be so kind as to give them back their points for those Eggman Intercom redemptions. That would be very helpful. I appreciate. Jacob, thanks so much for the follow. I appreciate it.
Oh man, the tourney footage with the oh man, I'm getting excited watching a bit of the tourney footage again, like seeing some of the cool stuff.
Just want to be part of another tourney now.
Yeah, I'm ready for another run at a tourney win.
I mean, ROA is coming up soon.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely gonna be trying to join that.
So excited.
Oh yeah, no, I've been itching to really get back into showing off skills and everything again, because like I've been back in practicing every little while for a couple days now.
Mm-hmm.
I've been trying to re-improve my times a little bit, clean up some of my routes. Like, I've just been going really crazy at it, and I'm ready to get another, hopefully top placement this time.
No, absolutely. I think you're gonna have a great time. Like Race of Ages is insane. We have a lot of people that come through. Like it's almost 3 days of an event, and we have just lots of people like coming through to play. We've got a halftime show. It's a lot of fun.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah, ROA is the biggest tournament we throw. Biggest one.
Yeah, no, that'll definitely be a really fun time. And I know some of us at the Riders Underground server. We're definitely itching to get a try at the Race of Ages too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're definitely more than welcome. It's our all skill set bracket. The only other one that we have that's like that was the one gimmick bracket. Usually we have them like rank side. So we'll have like our beginners, and then we have our more advanced people do like the teams one that we have and stuff like that, because we did a doubles tournament in the winter. But this one is very, very special. This is pretty much like you have a board, you are willing to like right up against the craziest people out there, come to ROA. Like, yeah. It's a no holds barred, all skill set, everybody's welcome type deal. Because it's such a giant tournament. And it's a lot of fun. Genuinely speaking, I think it being like the biggest tournament we run all year. I think the fact that people have been going, yep, can't wait for ROA, genuinely makes me happy, because ROA was the first tourney in Riders we kind of like did as an experiment, and it went off way better than I thought.
Yeah.
Here we are now.
Yeah, no, it's really funny. Like, I know some of the guys they've been asking me, they're like, have you heard anything yet? And I'm like, no, I haven't heard anything just yet. Like they're chomping at the bits just as much as I am.
Signups are going to be going live this week, so
This week,
look out for
right.
the sign-up sheets are going to be going live this week, as well as 2 other sign-up sheets that are going to be going up for 2 other events that we have going on in August. August is a very packed month for the festival. It's usually where we have majority of all of our events happening. So there's like 3 different tournaments in August, ROA being the biggest one. And then we have like 2 major community events and a Grand Prix and a whole bunch of other stuff going on in August. So that August is where the gamers lock in for FOA. But yeah, aside from that, anything else that you had wanted to share about Riders Future, or just Riders in general, or pretty much your experiences, just growing up in the Sega community, I suppose would be a good way of saying it.
I mean, I don't really have too much else really to say other than like, Sonic was probably my main Sega thing until probably I want to say I experienced like Yakuza, the now I think they're called the Like a Dragon games. Those are always so fun too. I think that's really all that I have to say. I don't think there's anything else to really speak about of the development for Future at this time, or anything else in particular.
Okay. And that's perfectly fine, because there's, as you told me, there's not too much you could really say. And in all honesty, the fact that they let you come up and talk about all the stuff that you did tell us, genuinely very grateful to you and the development team and everybody at Underground. Appreciate you taking the time to like come through and answer a couple of questions. I do have a last question. Genuinely, in terms of just racing in general, how excited for Crossworlds are you?
Honestly, I'm kind of in the middle on it. I think it's one of those games I want to get. I think it's one of those things I want to get on a sale. But like, I do hold some sort of like hype for it, just not as much as I would for like most other titles, I think.
That's genuinely fair. Is it because of the price, or is it because of like what's been shown so far?
I think it's because of what's been shown so far. I'm not as impressed with the trick system for Crossworlds. I'm not like a huge fan of the simplification of a lot of the, extreme gear and all that stuff. Just provided of its history with Sonic and racing in itself. So I think that's where like I hold myself a little bit closer to not getting it yet.
Understandable.
But it's definitely on the list of things I'd like to try.
That's honestly fair. I really don't hold it against anybody for wanting to get it on a sale, or maybe a little later after it comes out. I think also like we've been burned by TSR, which was a solid racing game with just not enough support, and the team mechanic just wasn't as well executed as it could be. The game itself is really fun if you just race normally. Like, just race like you normally would with multiplayer. It actually is a really solid game, and that Sumo Digital flair really stands out in that regard. But I don't know. It felt like it was a little too convoluted with the team mechanic. It's not as useful as you would assume it could be. If anything, it hinders you a lot because of the computer players that would more than likely be on your team. Yeah. So, no, I get it. And still, people are a little finicky about the whole Gears thing. I didn't expect the Gears to be exactly like how they perform in OG, or even through the modded community. Like, I think to expect that is a little silly, but I mean, I get people hoping that it would be a little, like, hoping it would be one-to-one, but I kind of knew it wouldn't be, because technically, if we want to be real about it, OG writers didn't control that well, which is why we have the modding community in the first place. So, you know, it's those tweaks and quality of life changes that have made it play a bit better. But yeah, no, I think it looks fine, but I do think they probably, like you said, simplified a lot of things. So,
Yeah.
trick system, I don't know how is going to actually, I don't know if it actually does anything. Maybe it gives you an extra boost when you land. I'm not sure. I didn't get to play the beta along with other people, but
Yeah, Jacob in chat did, and he, from what I know, it's like, I believe so, but you'd have to ask him personally on that one.
so I don't like the trick
He's like
system.
the only one
but
I
there's so
know.
much strat with the gadgets. Yeah, the gadgets look like that's where a lot of your builds like are gonna come from, is the gadgets. Not so much like the cars and the driver. I don't know if they're gonna have stats. I can't remember, but I know the gadgets is what's gonna influence how your racing is going to be. So it works like Sonic Racing. Yeah. So I don't know, but again, we'll wait and see. It hasn't come out yet. They're still doing pre-orders now, so you know, is what it is. We just have to wait. The werehog looks really, really cool. It's nice to see him like coming back into the spotlight. They know. They have to know.
Despite being voiceless.
yeah. I'm not that thrilled about that. I still feel like if you're gonna do a crossover, just do the crossover. Do it right. It's in the name, right?
Right.
Like, you're having all these other characters, why not get all of these other voices that you have under your umbrella? It's not the first time, you know? People are like, well, what if you can't have, like, two of the voice actors? I'm like, didn't they have the cinema voice actor for Shadow and the game voice actor for Shadow in the same DLC?
Yeah.
So, what was the okay there, but not the okay for this giant racing game you're trying to promote? Don't you think people would, like, lose their minds if they had all of these voices that they could hear from over the eras, you know, crossing over? I don't know. Just feel like if you're gonna do it all the way. Don't half-ass it, but just the personal opinion on that. It's probably a lot of politics that go into that. But aside from that, I appreciate that, you know, you came through and was able to talk with us. We're gonna take a short break here, like a minute and so, just to like get water and stuff like that. And then we're gonna do a few rounds of riders. Trying to think whether or not we're gonna do some matches or we're gonna, like, I find it interesting when, you know, some stuff is like shown off, so like maybe certain cuts and other stuff like that for funsies. I really enjoyed when you did it during the workshop.
Yeah, I can definitely do.
Cool.
Yeah, I can definitely show off a couple of the routes I developed and whatnot, and we could do a few matches as well alongside that.
Yeah, that sounds great. All right, so we're gonna take a short BRB, and then we'll be right back to it, and we'll play some riders. We'll be right back, guys. Alright, welcome back, everybody. Blig, dig. Hi, welcome in, Tommy. How are you? Alright, let's see here. I want to make sure that this runs properly.
Of course.
God help us. Alright, so I guess we could put the buffer to like 10. We'll start there.
What are we at? Actually, our ping is really close. Like, we could do 2.
Really?
Yeah, so the way that you do the buffer is ping divided by 16. So we're at like 40-ish at some spots. So maybe let's do like 4, and it'll run like we're playing console.
Gotcha.
Yep.
It says I started the game, but I didn't.
Yeah, you have to close it. And then...
Aw, sad hours. Okay. Alright, let me get the, thank you. Thank you.
Maybe that was okay.
I appreciate it. Here's the new code, Roxham.
Alrighty. Throw that in. Alrighty. And then, like I said, put it to like 4 or so for now.
Alright. I will set it to 4, you said?
Yeah, 4 should be good.
Alright. It opened on the other screen and lied to me! There we go. Alright. Let me go ahead and silence our... And let me make sure that the game shows up here.
Yep.
There we go. And then... There we go, and we should be good. Hey, Spark, welcome in!
Alright, so to start us out, I'm going to go ahead and show off my 2 main routings that were developed here. So we'll start off with the Super Shadow on Sega Illusion routing. This one I haven't done in a minute, so I might be a little scuffed, but we'll see how this goes.
Excitement, excitement.
So we start off with the 4 hoops, just because it's easier to get there. And then, I missed the 1 skip, but that's okay. Not hugely needed. Oh, I missed a lot of stuff. Okay. Things I gotta pick up with rings, so... Now the main thing with the Super Shadow routing is that this stage is basically perfect for what we call the Chaos Drive meter, which is the bar slowly filling, which is normally your air bar, but you know, that's as is. And it gives us a great big boost. And we hit the dash panels, giving us 15 more speed, make it a little bit easier. And then we just set up again. There we go, got it that time for the magic rail.
That rail's real tricky.
It is a little tricky. That's why I had to develop the setup for it with the fly hoops, so that you can just jump into it. Normally, if you want to do a high-level speed run, you actually want to do the other version of it, Hyper Magic Rail, in which you have to jump into the wall itself at the rail. It's a little bit trickier. Let's see if I can get this. I messed up the TAS version of the
wall magnetized you.
Yeah, no, so in that Choo Choo Rocket section, if you are skilled enough, you can essentially get through that section through the power routing without touching any of the dash panels.
Mm-hmm.
Which the dash panels in that section set you to like 155 speed, which obviously is really bad for a speed run.
Right.
If I can get it here, almost had it that time, but in its entirety, that's the run. Wow, that was a lot worse than I thought. If I had practiced this, the most this can get down to a par time for Sega Illusion is a 206, and I think a 202 for the Pro Times. This can get a 159.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it's insane. And it took me, I think, a year and a half to get that perfected. Down to its root.
Still impressive, though.
Yeah, no, it took a lot of routing. Next up is the Sky Road routing, which I alluded to earlier, and why people hate me for it.
This is the diabolical run. Okay.
This
I'm
is the
taking
diabolical
notes.
run. Yeah.
Taking notes.
There's a reason why people hate playing against me on this. So at the beginning, you collect your 8 rings here. You really only need at least like 6, mostly because you get so many rings on this section. As you can see, I'm already at 27, and now I'm at like 35.
Mm-hmm.
So then after this, I take a boost, transform, and I miss the jump. That's the other part. The transformation jumping is a little off, and I also miss the ramp skip. I'm not like Ice, where I can just 3-3 a ramp skip in a speed run, unfortunately. This is the hardest ramp skip in the game, because it's so precise and frame perfect, like all ramp skips are. Yeah, then we take the fly shortcut after the lap. As you can see, again, I'm already above the threshold for transformation.
Yeah.
So from here, try this again, and we got it this time.
Wow.
Gonna set it up. Oh, I missed. I hit the wall. But yeah, so that little bit of setup allows you for an angle to get that ramp skip. I think the current record is 137, 136. If I remember right, this can get a 135 at its max.
That's insane. Holy heck.
Yeah. And like I said, that transformation just makes this mostly trivial. Yeah. I haven't practiced these stages that much, but there you go for the ramp skip too. Yeah.
That's still amazing, being able to do all of that.
Yeah, no, those routes are insane. And now you can see why people hate Neo Metal on Sky Road and why it's always banned against me.
Well, I mean, just the whole fact, like, all of that was just, like, blink and you slightly missed it of what you were doing. You're just, like, hopping off of, like, the whole track. You're just, like, the race is a suggestion, simply.
Yeah. Alright, let's go ahead and get a couple races in. I do want to show off one other... I would do the funny routing with Red Canyon and Cover S, as I alluded to as well. So, give me your pick, and let's see what you got.
Not good picks, I'll tell you that much.
You got this.
Oh.
I'm using everything I've got.
Okay.
Yo, Glitch Buddy. Hey, Web! Bro's writing a ghost save on GK's game. Good, I have something to be haunted by.
Like, I'll let you go first on this one, just to show off what this is. So by using the deceleration amount, I can very much just kind of play around with my air a little bit, and then immediately I'm in the shortcut.
I forgot
And now
about her.
the infinite boost occurs.
There he goes.
Yeah. Oh no, I messed up on it. No. That's fine. Get it on the next lap and really start it up.
I forgot about us putting the Furlington boat cactuary in the freaking thing. Every time I see it, it makes me giggle.
That's funny. How am I getting a C rank off that? What? Yeah, now the game doesn't want to give me air. It's like, nah, you're so far ahead. You're good. But yeah, all it takes is just getting to level 3, and you're pretty much set for the rest of the race.
Goodness gracious, he's flying.
Yeah. Give you your bit of time to catch up.
Yeah. Chaos is a speedy boy. After the race, oh, gotcha. Big stretch. Thank you.
Yeah. Gotta get them stretches in.
Yes.
Alrighty. But yeah, so that's basically the power of the infinite boost. Even when you're behind, like I said, it can give you like 300 speed at level 3, and
Goodness.
it's just fun. Yeah. Alright, any particular stages you want to play?
Let's do, the egg factory. Why not?
Alrighty. Oh, this would be a good time to show off that new tech I I found out about the other day.
New tech, new tech, new tech.
Yep.
I'm using everything I've got.
Which surprisingly actually made the fly types the fastest on Egg Factory now.
Really?
Yeah, no, that basic little tech, if you get it right, it makes fly the fastest, which is really funny. It saves, I think, like 20-ish milliseconds or something. I'll have to do it all on the next lap because I don't feel comfortable doing it lap 1 with level 2.
Oop, I hear thunder outside.
I heard that too. I was like, oh gosh.
It scared me. They're coming for me.
Oh no!
They know I'm here.
Let's see if I can get this. And I got it first try. Let's go. Oh, it feels so good to get. So what that tech was I just did, or anybody who was seeing my part of the screen, I'm at the bottom, was the tech called Rocket Jump. I don't know why I coined it that. It was just what came to mind. But essentially,
what it is you boost and jump into the fly hoop because you have just enough space. And it works. It makes multi-type gears actually work a lot better because of it. If you're a fly type, like access works really well, which I love. And it overall just plays well. And I got a not too bad time for net play. 145 ain't bad.
No, that's not bad at all.
Yeah, I think part time's 146. So, and then pro times are like 143 currently. Although I think we're thinking about changing that down to 141.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Because currently I think fly types can in current beta get a 138 while the other two get a 141 or something.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, no, it's actually insane how crazy fly types are. But yeah.
Okay, you pick the next one.
The next one. All right, let's go with. You know, we'll be. You know what? Actually, not Digi. Let's go with Night Chase.
Night Chase is fun.
Yeah. We'll go with. Supersonic for this one.
I have sadly forgotten what I've been taught because it has been 3 months. Oh, hell yeah, though. Freaking bangers, though.
Oh, yeah, no. I think this one has some of the best music, aside from
oh, yeah.
some certain parts of Skyroad. I might have to be. I might be a little bit mean this race just because it's supersonic.
Butterflies.
Yeah. The main thing with supersonic is that with his game plan, a lot of it's hanging back and just ring collecting, and when you're near the opponent, just trying to hit them. Because if you hit them just even a couple times, more than likely you're going to win the race. Back in Sand Ruins 1.0 version, Supersonic was one of the top contenders. If only because if he hit you at the start line, it was near impossible to catch up to him.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, he was a a fun little guy to go up against. But he was also one of my probably favorite picks to do there, because his routing was just so unique. Get the next rank. So 3. Can I do the Synfin skip? Let's see if I can get it. Oh, almost had it. That's a really hard one because not only do you have to have the speed, but you also have to hope that the walls don't mess you up.
Three months? Oh, you mean the day I won the tournament? No, well, I think the last time I was able to practice was probably like... Also, I don't think it was that long since beginners, was it? Beginners bracket was in April, I think. Yeah, because then we had the skaters gimmick bracket in June, and then we're gonna have ROA in August. It hasn't been that long.
Yeah,
I don't think it has.
April to July
4
Oh
through
yeah,
7.
it has been. Sorry, I forgot, Jacob. My bad. You did really good. I'm sure of it. My memory will come back. I'm so sorry. Time really do fly. Oh my god.
It does.
The summer is almost over already.
I know, that's why I had to get one trip in this coming week for before the summer ended, so I could get some relaxation time in.
No, that's fair. I gotta whip out the FOA special. With Fiesta Sonic.
Star 2, okay.
It's still so hot, I know. Hold on. Nope. Nope. Man.
If you
I don't want to
if
keep...
you can. Well, what you can do is you can hold your D-pad in the direction of your certain song. I don't know if you know which D-pad direction it is.
I don't.
Just try them. But when you I pressed yes, just hold your D-pad like up,
Gotcha.
then right, then yeah.
Okay. I think I got it. Hold on.
There.
There we go. We got it.
Perfect. Let's as many rings as I'd like, but I will. Get that. See and skip. Number 3.
No!
Oh, this might be a decent run.
Hate when that happens.
Yeah. Pulled off that 3 as well. Yes, okay.
Run's dead.
If it were a speed run, yeah, that last little bit probably would have been like a...
Oh no,
fun
competitively
killer.
also, the run is dead. And the way that the run is dead for, like, even competitive is, A, you fall in the temple room, checkpoint's awful, it's dog water, you will just... And then if you get, if you bump the last corner, it has a habit of knocking you back, like, 5 inches. You will not recover. You will have to turn.
I had a sub 2 time, let's go.
Nice.
Yeah. I do love the little glitch that you can do with the finish line where you can just fall through the floor and still get the finish.
Oh, that's pretty funny.
Yeah, it's my favorite way to end a stage every time.
Alright, your turn to pick one.
Okay, let us go with... Yeah, let's go Digi for this one. So since since the skate tournament, I've been obsessed with Cannonball on Digi now.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, so it used to be like I used to have a lot of trouble with hits
well, since Cannonball is, the avoidance gear, essentially, I don't have to worry about that anymore.
Oh, yeah?
Yep, pretty much. Yeah, that's what I love about it.
Zoom. Rude. That was my neighbor.
Level 2 up here. I missed the ramp skip. Oh, well. There we go, level 3. Get it. Ah, missed. Yeah, lap 3 ramp skip, let's go. The most important
Nice,
one.
nice.
Yeah, no, that lap 3 ramp skip has literally made or broken games. Like I've seen people with they've been behind the whole race, but as long as they make that lap 3 ramp skip, they've won the game. I cannot understate how important getting it on lap 3 at the very least is.
No, I can imagine.
Oh man. All right, you want to pick one more? You want to pick the last one, or?
Let me think. Go Sega Illusion.
Alrighty.
I'm gonna break Germ's rule. Please don't tell on me. I'm not allowed to use these anymore.
No, not advantages.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not opposed to them. There is a good few stages where they are useful, but it also does hinder beginners a lot because of you could just run out of air and run the whole way like you're playing Sonic R.
That's the funny part. That's why I like them. It's funny.
Yeah, no, honestly, fair. I think honestly they feel about as on par with Sonic R's controls as they are. Like the turning is just as bad.
Pretty much.
We'll just turn back around and see if I can... There we go. I love clipping through the floor to get a rail. It's so fun. So for those of you that are curious about the magic rail, as we call it, So the reason, if I remember correctly, that you can do it and attach to the rail is because um, the rail is close enough to the floor that I guess the attaching to the rail overwrites the floor for some reason. And being able to attach to the rail is cool. Also, what I do love about the Super Shadow routing here is that you could just have a set of rings built up. Like as you see here, I've got 88 rings, and I don't even need that. It's just whatever I want to do with it, I can do.
I can go backwards.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, Dan, welcome in.
But yeah. So
Nice.
that is, but yeah, I'd say that's pretty good overall showing of Riders, wouldn't you say?
I think so, honestly. Riders is fun and you should play it.
Yes, please play it.
You should. You should play Riders if it looks fun. Yes. If it looks hard to play, yes. But also, you shouldn't let that deter you. Honestly, because it's still really fun to play, even though it is a little difficult to get the hang of. There is now a lot more resources out there in order to help you get started. There are lovely communities such as the one that Roxham is in and the one that I'm in. There's people that'll happily teach you how to play because they want to get more people into Riders. Yes, there's jank. Absolutely. We can't really do anything about that. That's just kind of how Riders is. However, the better you get at the game and the more you practice, the better you are going to be used to that jank, and you're going to work around it. You're going to work with the jank. It will no longer be your enemy.
The jank will be your best partner.
Yes. Yes, it will. But it's a lot of fun. Best time to get into it is now, honestly, because we're going to have another racing game hitting the fray, and, you know, this is just another one that you can pick up that is available. You should definitely look into it. But other than that, thank you so much, Roxham, for coming through and doing this interview, playing a few rounds, and just hanging out. I hope you had a really good time.
It was really fun, and thank you so much for giving me the honor to do this. Never in a million years would I think I'd be doing something like this in my life. So thank you for the opportunity, and thank you so much for the honor.
Of course. You is my friend, and you're very, very cool. You do very cool stuff. People should see that.
Thank you. You too.
And you better be going into ROA. Would love to see you participate.
Absolutely. Expect me there.
Let's go! But yes, speaking of ROA, I'm gonna go ahead and throw us back onto the Amigo screen so that I can talk about that a little bit more before we head out. There we go. Alrighty. So, our lovely, lovely ROA. For some of you guys that don't know, ROA is a tournament that we throw every year. We've been throwing it for the past 3 years. It is a huge summer tournament that usually lasts about 2 to 3 days, depending on how many people come through. More often than not, it is 3 days. ROA stands for Race of Ages. It is a giant all skill set, all boards, all players welcome Sonic Riders tournament that we throw at the end of Festival of Ages. We do have a date for Race of Ages this year. Again, it's going to be taking place at the end of the month. It will be starting up on the 29th, which is a Friday, and ending on the 31st, which is a Sunday. Stay tuned, because depending on signups and how many are in that bracket, it could be that we start on the 30th and end on the 31st instead. So just keep an eye out for that, but it will be happening that weekend. That is when ROA will be taking place. So keep the 29th to the 31st in mind. That being said, signups are going to be going live this week, as well as signups for Pixel Panic this year. I know a lot of you guys have been waiting for signups for Pixel Panic specifically to come through. They are going to be going live this week. Pixel Panic is going to be taking place on the 17th of August. It is a Sunday. This year is going to be Chaos Countdown. It is an elimination-based Pixel Panic. We've got a lot of fun stuff for you, a lot of fun challenges. Your fellow carnies are going to be around, like Tetra and Retro. They will be back again. As you know, they love doing Pixel Panic, as do I. So that is going to be taking place again on the 17th. So please look out for the signups. They will hopefully also be going live this week. And then the last but not least, we have Moby and Mosh Pit. Signups are also going to be going live this week. That's actually going to be happening next week on the 7th. Moby and Mosh Pit is our Sonic the Fighters mini bracket. That's going to be a lot of fun. We have held one in the past with great turnout, so we're holding another one again this time. So come on in. It really is just for fun. It's just to hang out and stuff like that. Beat each other up, have a good time. But aside from that, for the rest of the schedule this week, we had our writers panel today. On Wednesday, we have another guest panel with Neon Harper as our guest. We're going to be going through the Game Gear Gauntlet. We're going to be going through a couple of titles on the Game Gear. Really, really excited on that. On Thursday, we're going to be having another guest panel, which is Brent Zone. He's going to be our guest. We're going to be doing Sonic Shuffle Story Mode, talking about how RNG plays an integral part within the game and how you can work with it, and it doesn't have to be your enemy. On Friday, I will be a guest on Lo-Fi Moon Eye's channel. We're going to be doing a live dub event of Date Everything, so that's going to be really fun. Haven't done a live dub with them in a while, so this is quite the treat. So no FOA scheduled that day. Saturday, we will be back at it. We have a very special festival karaoke session going on Saturday, hosted by our awesome music quiz maestro, Rockaway Carter. It's pretty much like a music quiz. It's going to be a lyric quiz instead, but it is pretty much karaoke, so that sounds like fun to you. You definitely should join in. And then on Sunday, it's going to be a Discord-only event for FOA. We have the Sonic Underground Watch Party, where we're going to be watching 5 episodes of the cartoon all together. It's going to be a lot of fun, very classic, very nostalgic. It's going to be a good time. So that's this week's lineup so far. Tomorrow I will be taking a break because the rest of the week we will be doing stuff. So nothing for tomorrow. But signups more than likely will be going live tomorrow, so just keep an eye out for that. Other than that, please go follow Roxim on their socials. They are amazing. They do a lot of great work, and they are also a very good friend, so please, show them lots of support if you see them. Also, in my server, they hang out a lot in the writers section that we have alongside the Galaxy Gearheads, which is the community that we run for writers. And if you're in Writers Underground, more than likely you see them a lot. So definitely say hi, let them know they're doing a fantastic job, because they are. Aside from that, Roxam, you got anything else that you would like to say before we hit the hay?
Well, yeah, definitely. Thank you so much again, GK, for everything. And as always, riders, stay safe, and I hope to see you on the track. Good night.
Yes! All right. You heard him. I'll send you guys off to a lovely raid. I will go ahead and search up who we have. More than likely, I may send you over to one of our buddies. I think, if I am looking correctly, a lot of people streaming today, actually. I'm kind of surprised. let's see. I might send you guys over to another GK actually, who is playing Paddle Paddle Paddle. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna go raid Geronimo Kiddo. Haven't raided them in a little while, so why don't we go ahead and send some love over there. Boop. There we go, there we go. Oh wait, unfortunately I believe they are ending their stream, so give me a second. That happens. It's a really short stream for them, so that's why I'm just like, huh?
Right.
Let's see. You know what? I know who we can raid into. I know who we could throw. Ow! Whoever's throwing stuff, stop, I'm sensitive. Let's see. Let's go ahead and raid into... We're gonna raid into Beelzebella. It looks like they're playing a Deltarune fan game. So we're gonna go ahead and send some love over there. They were so nice as to invite me to a modded melee fight session last week, which was really fun. So we're gonna go ahead and send them some love. Alright guys, I will see you guys later on Wednesday. We're gonna be hanging out with Neon Harper. I appreciate everybody for coming through for another guest panel. Hope you guys had fun. Hope you had fun, Roxim. Thanks so much for coming through yet again. And as always, guys, to show this much love to something this awesome, thankfully takes ages. See you guys later.
Power allows me to feel. I can't see a thing, but it's around somewhere. I'm gonna hold my head. I got nothing to fear. This probably seems crazy. The ghost try to approach me. And got lyrics. Yeah.